Mangaka, let's get into it.
Character select is pretty much as we expected. Fairly aggressive pressure here coming through from Xerom. KTP will take the turn with these 6XLs. Catch a jump, but not much more than that.
All right, trying to get some empty space here to go into that Celestial Dominion, but Xerom closing very quickly. And of course, you got to worry about that strong 2U to challenge any attempt, and it parlays into some great screen position that Xerom trying to get out of, but just runs into the ult pillar punish.
KTP ready for the throw attempt. Backdash, it actually gets a full punish. Xerom now in a one-touch range on the Charlotta, but the little gap right there actually catches KTP moving. Not sure what the option was, but Xerom will drop the Super Skybound Art, restoring that Brave Point, taking 2 away from KTP, so they are down to their last one. Get the jump in, we have the block, still defending.
All right, looking for the almighty 623H. Oh, but catches them trying to spot dodge the Anicha. Very lingering hitbox, but runs right into the whiff punish H-ball from Xerom, forcing a BC to reset neutral.
KTP kind of likes to poke with that forward special Versusia, but there it is, the Fireball trade, and it's actually, I think, Xerom that goes down as he spins into the ultimate Fireball from KTP. So that's a round 1 over to the Versusia player.
Very strong tool in this matchup. Like I said, very active on the screen, able to curtail both the air and ground approaches from a Charlotta that has a shallow jump arc and linear movement on the part of the ball, and even locks them down to continue offense like we're seeing here in this East Coast corner.
Seems like KTP is ready for Xerom going for these spot dodges. Just caught out a second one with that Fireball earlier, but Xerom will catch a wake-up mash with the 6XL down to his final Brave Point. As due to the spacing, he spends the Raging Strike and Chain to stabilize the combo. A little bit of pressure right there. These little gaps that Xerom gives you to bait you into making a choice thinking, oh, he messed up somewhere. Nah, this isn't your high-level rank. This is top 96 winners of CEO. You're fighting Xerom. He is doing that on purpose.
Absolutely. In a game that's as linear as Granblue can be offensively, having those delay and stagger timings is crucial to implementing high-level offense, but high damage by chasing them down with the heavy, going to be able to strip all the diamonds off of Charlotta's plate. Cataclysm, in effect, is this a cataclysmic end to Xerom's game 1 here, Mangaka? No, just a little bit of life left after the 999.
Yeah, but no points for Xerom, so that means KTP can just run the pressure, keep it all airtight, chip him down, and gets it right there. We kind of set the stage for like, all right, this is Xerom. We know Xerom very well. KTP, also really good talent, but it hasn't quite hit the highs of Xerom. First time playing against him as well, but it's Xerom who looks unprepared for KTP.
Yeah, honestly, they feel right at home, KTP, I mean, but right now a better start here for Xerom, able to take the offensive early. Didn't quite get that same advantage early. It was a little bit of nip and tuck going both ways, but like we saw with that first game, that quick sweep into the 623H, and now, again, appropriate challenge, going to be able to use the install that they acquired to take them all the way to the corner just like that. It's KTP in the driver's seat.
And there it is, that jump coming out from Xerom, able to dodge the close light jab. KTP will spend a Brave Point, gets out of the corner. They clash, the second wave of it, and both sides go for the throw tech. Too far for it to actually interact, so it's a handshake back into neutral.
Ult DP to get out of harm's way, and then just going to be able to hit the double overhead that you can get on taller characters. Versusia, the one that is victim to it. I believe it's if you're Belial or taller, you're allowed to get that as Charlotta. So really good use of that very niche interaction that Charlotta has. Xerom, of course, showing why he's a veteran with this character. Specialized knowledge coming into play.
Triple strike low. That's all it ends with in this patch, but as we've been teased, there's a whole new mechanic coming in the update next month where that could lead to a full combo if you're not defending correctly against the triple strike sequences. But for now, KTP is going to get the launch, does not have the Nirvana stack on, so that's the end of that route. Xerom finds a DP to bust out with and baits out KTP's own. All of a sudden, shoes on the other foot as it's Xerom dissecting KTP on defense.
I also do love the fact the neutral that they're playing has not given KTP any room to breathe, setting up the Anicha that was giving them so much trouble. It's been all aggression, all of phases on go, just remaining a problem and posing a problem for KTP's winner side life. We're going to game 3 with an even set count.
The difference as well in terms of snowballing the win. I mean, KTP's first game, it took a little while to chain Xerom down, but Xerom in that game like blew through KTP for both of those rounds. Absolute dominating performance. Let's see now if KTP can equalize from here. Short little whip punish there. Xerom catching again with these frame traps that have been very consistent and successful. In fact, I think Xerom can get the full cash out and find a kill.
Looks like that is the case. Going to go into the SBA, even with the higher health total that Versusia has. Xerom eating through it with the Charlotta corner optimal. So now, set point for Xerom after KTP started so strong. It's been a complete reversal and looking like a complete control for Xerom here, who caught the fuzzy timing of the mash and catching the fuzzy up dash. So KTP looking very unsettled defensively.
Oh, we take the turn yet again with the ultimate noble strategy, the 5U to anti-air as well. We are absolutely bamboozling right now as Xerom once again has the corner. Combo launches there. It's trying to optimize with the Raging Strike and Chains and ultimate skills. One more hit does the trick. Xerom takes it 2-1 over KTP. 4 rounds in a row.
Narmaya, who can really take advantage of any room that you allot to them and impress or allow you some very sticky strike throw offense. That line can be a little bit thin to tote, but we'll see what happens here in this matchup between Paid Actor and Kaze.
Going on up. So poking out and a little guard button check. The backdash into 2U works out, and as you're holding, expecting the Ferry, it's the 5U to get the install for free. As now Paid Actor, this is the final form. First time these two have actually played in a bracket as well. So it's going to be trying to understand one another here for the first time on the CEO stage. Paid Actor wants Kaze to understand the combo damage they're about to experience here. Full cash out, this should be round 1.
Oh my gosh, the far heavy starter already just unlocking the full brunt of the install super damage conversion. Paid Actor was fishing for a little bit of those far light staggers to understand what the habits were defensively. Felt like they already fished it. Full confidence with the frame trap far H challenge and full confidence with that 2M there to beat the Setsuna.
Absolutely, Kaze trying to go for that medium version and charging it to get plus frames, and Paid Actor calls it out. First time seeing it. Going for a little back and forth. Kaze finds the moment to press that brave counter. Are you kidding me? You hit me with the Crescent Moon once, never again!
And kills off of it. Unreal conversion off of the 2H. Can be a little bit of an awkward starter, but felt right at home, converting into a lethal combo. Paid Actor, even just in a short amount of time, it feels like they already understand the ins and outs of their opponent's strategy. Crazy game 1.
Absolutely crazy game 1. Paid Actor looking in great form. We talked about the performance that they've had throughout the year, getting 7th at EVO. They've gone out to 8 events and their top 8 percentage is 63. So there's a good chance that Paid Actor can keep that streak alive with the day's run through. Things are getting diabolical here. We get the punish actually. So now Paid Actor gets the setup. Here comes the Ferry. Megan blocks the BC. So now able to keep the turn. Oh, we trying to play footsies?
Absolutely. That's what I was saying at the onset. We're using that 236U to beat out the poke out attempt from Kaze, and now going to be able to still keep them trapped down as they were able to find their way out of the corner, but not out of the waiting arms of a Vira that was waiting to execute her strike throw offense. Paid Actor, set point here.
Like earlier with Xerom, who needed a game, it seemed like, to warm up against KTP. I mean, Paid Actor, it just needed a round, it felt like, and has put a stop to most of Kaze's strategy, but not to the EX transients. Gonna get the ultimate Setsuna to extend now. Trying to go as far towards this player 1 corner as possible. Spot dodge this time, able to evade the Setsuna.
And I do love these different looks giving them. Already the quick download from Paid Actor, but just when you think you understand his defense, pops the reversal super right there. Not going to get the full combo, just going to use the opportunity to side switch and put Narmaya in the corner. But like that, we use our own meter to get out with the ultimate transient. But a quick mash here, Vira getting started.
Trying to close the gap. 6XL, Kaze will run up. Catches Paid Actor's fuzzy jump. But look at that, buffering the brave counter input for the Raging Strike, I mean. Behind that far M, trying to get the full cash out here, but combo limiters reach. You extended just a little too much there, Paid Actor, and Kaze gets a quick punish. A little bit of life here from our Narmaya representative.
Absolutely. You are never out of it until you are out of it, but 6-6M is going to put you in a good position to get your offense started. Put the Lumi out after the hard knockdown and get these far light staggers. Very central to a Paid Actor's offense, but big central to a win is being able to bait out an early DP and getting the 50% meter extension as Narmaya.
And the Crescent Moon again catching paid actor, wiggling one way or another. One more mix-up, one more combo will do the trick. And now even a normal throw should do the damage as well, thanks to the chip damage from the red tech. And there it is, all of a sudden, the momentum completely shifting in Kaze's favor, taking us to a Game 3 yet again. Kaze, no slouch, a competitor out from California, just recently coming off a win in Kirbio's Dreamland at the 63rd edition of that tournament.
Yep, no slouch, using the full malleability of Narmaya's nature. You talk about how many different looks you can give them. Saw that paid actor, again, had their approach figured out initially, but gave them different looks in pretty much every phase. But now we're going back and forth to see who can get the last laugh in Game 3 here. With Vira in the corner now, but Narmaya's out.
Yeah, we do get the hard knockdown. Don't get used to it, that's going away. And we're happy about that, many would say. Here we go. Paid actor gonna get the extension with the ultimate Lumiere loops. Still has combo limit as well to play with once we get to this corner spot. There it is. Set point again for paid actor, but Kaze was able to take the second game from this position.
We'll see if we can repeat success here. Just going to opt to just play a little bit of that empty space. Quick cancel into the Scarlet. Oh, it's going to get throw punished. But now we're going to go right back. Good challenge there. Go into the safe ender. But we reset back to neutral. Kaze going to be able to use a little bit of that Mistfinder game. Guilty Gear Strive being played over on the other stage, but it feels like a little bit of Johnny Neutral going right here, but something going wrong. Errant raging strike attempt, giving paid actor a way out of this corner and ushering Narmaya on block to the other side.
Crescent Moon blocked. Paid actor is finally holding down. Tries to swing, gets caught by the ultimate Setsuna. However, the combo drops here. Kaze able to go for a safe ender. Punishes paid actor. And just like that, Zoma, it is final game, final round between these two. Winner side at top 96, so loser would have to join the plethora of sharks that are in that lower bracket.
You do not want to be swimming in these waters. This is a very dense bracket, and you want to have as much safety as you can, which is why paid actor definitely pushing the offense here, putting Narmaya in the corner. But once again, like you've mentioned, Mangaka, it has never spelled disaster for Narmaya and Kaze. They found their way out each time, just remaining composed.
The DP baited. This time it's paid actor who gets the full punish. How do you want to route this one out? Are we going to drop a second Lumiere? We do. We don't go for the install. Instead, it's the dash heavies taking the damage over the functionality here. After all, Kaze is going to be put into a guess for game situation here. Text the throw as well. Great awareness, but how do you survive from here?
You got to be very patient up against these far-light staggers. The 2M challenge is going to backdash away, but still runs into the far-reaching poke of a far normal from Vira. Paid actor got all that he could bargain for in that set, but he is going to be emerging victorious. I wonder if this is just sort of a plan B in the event that Beatrix is just not the move in the next patch next month. But
possibly.
Yeah, just going to opt for the Ferry this time around. Probably not going to be a character that Biskit wants to see on the other side, but we will see. They have the Cure Arcana plush in tow, so maybe a little bit of an Oshi power up here up against Ferry, but we will see if the pink-haired Sword of Lumiel within Charlotta will be going up against the Ghost and the Ghouls and the Gal Pals Ferry.
Of course, Ferry getting a lot more notoriety.
Yep.
Over the last couple patch cycles, it feels like. Despite getting nerfed in several different versions of Granblue, still hosts a very powerful and potent kit with excellent zoning options, some incredible set play that many players, such as like a Beepaw, for example, Iago Gerates as well, are just able to represent at such a devastating high level. But Biskit here with a Charlotta saying, Kojicoco, I want to fight your real character. Yeah. Get this secondary pick out of my face. Out of my sight!
Give me some respect, but no respect shown to the Demon Flip Oki. Just going to immediately go for that ult DP, catching them tripping. A little bit of a ways to chew through on a character that just kind of nickel and dimes you. So having this health lead, very advantageous, letting you have a little bit more leeway in the game plan, but Kojicoco slowly inching their way into a better position to really play how Ferry wants.
You do have access to Super Sky Button Art as well, so if Kojicoco gets the right close range hit, could possibly cash out, get the kill as Biskit. I mean, just so close to winning it. And speaking of, full screen confirms. Oh my God, not even the animation required. Kojicoco. He says, yo, Mangaka, you put respect on my name, put respect on my Ferry too.
I can't believe it. Just going to be able to get out of the clutches of Charlotta's strike throw offense after spending it on that DP, parlaying it into a beautiful comeback. Looking to have a little bit stronger of a start here. Close medium going to catch them after the shimmy. Just looking so good, especially when we get that counter hit. Delay close heavy.
Delay close heavy leads to a lot of damage here. We set up the GG go low. Biskit expecting that immediate jumping overhead. But Kojicoco just going to go for the second layer option instead. 5L, bully the Charlotta in the corner. And there it is. Very simple whiff punish. Took Kojicoco a moment or so, but was able to control that space, showing classic Ferry gaming. Wants to box you out with these annoying flicker jab-esque pokes of the whip.
Yep.
Dominating that part of the screen. And against a character like Charlotta, you got to be a little committal sometimes. Maybe some 5Us to counter some of those pokes might be an option here, but a player like Kojicoco could be ready for that, and if you mistime it, well then all of a sudden you're getting punished pretty severely for it. But once again, Biskit off to a good start, but can you finish?
Yeah, and it was one of those committal options that let them get in too. So using the demon flip over the crouching normal, but now gonna have the GG to reinforce the ult DP on the demon flip. So Kojicoco already hedging their bet, setting up the situation, get the most out of the interaction wins that they get. But Biskit getting the most out of the strike. They landed full spend of the resources to put them in the corner. This is where you want to be. This is where Charlotta thrives, but you will be silenced as soon as you get it started. Quick throw here to put Ferry back in the driver's seat.
Trying to play the mid-screen game. The Super Skybound art comes out yet again. The cinematic follows up, and with no Brave points to Biskit's name, it's an extra 50% damage added on. It's a round for Kojicoco. Going up to set point now, and again, Biskit able to get these good starts, but you give Kojicoco the little bit of, the tiniest of spaces.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you have none left for yourself.
Yeah, and it's even so important in this matchup as well. I mentioned that you want to have that health lead against Ferry, so she has a little bit more of an incentive to be active, not just sit across the screen and get started using her strike zoning that's been so powerful. And we've already gotten the health lead as Ferry, so we may be able to just return to neutral and play this slow game. Now it's Biskit that has to make something happen. Does so here, catching the extended hurt box on the whiff normal, but again, 3 for 3 on these DPs.
Yeah, the jump just not high enough to actually dodge Beppo, and so Koji is able to reset us back to neutral. Biskit tries to spin in with that Shining Assault. 5L catching the evade forward. Again, Kojicoco trying to mix up the timings of when he's pressing these normals. Cashing out with the Raging Strike and Chain. One more hit ought to do it, and there it is. 2-0 Kojicoco. Not dropping around the Biskit, but an admirable performance nonetheless. Just a case of there's
a block, but Xerom just been very committed to this game. Has a little bit of that Tokon going right now, but let's be real, he's logging in with the Charlotta. We'll see if we're locked in against Grimnir this time around. Even though Zane got that 3-0, you never can quite count out Xerom. You never can.
You never can, and I mean, just in the year before, right? So this is the second time these two have played this year, and prior to that Combo Breaker run, the last time they played was at Combo Breaker 2025. And they played 3 sets, winners, finals, and grands, where Xerom was able to beat Zane to reset the bracket and then sweep him 3-0 in that reset bracket. So, again, Xerom, historical favorite here. We'll have to see who is on point in this matchup. This is to get into winner side of top 24, so the path to top 8 becomes far easier if you can overcome the adversary in the seat next to you right now. Battle 1 is engaged.
We'll start off with a little bit of picking our spots in neutral, trying to find spots and create space for that heavy seal. You get it up, but at what cost? Xerom still being able to jump in and get started, and now you don't even have access to a DP, so Xerom can already force a BP out and really win the war and the battle here if they get the right touch after this throw.
Zane trying to escape the corner. You see Xerom trying to follow that one, but Zane following Xerom! It's planes versus cars, man. Wings versus tires, and Zane catches up. Oh no, the combo drop. 6XL, full pickup here. Zane, though, gonna have to play around with the fact that Xerom's starting the air, so the combo limit's already a factor. However, Super Skybound Arc comes through. That's a dead Charlotta. Zane finds victory in round 1.
Oh, I would dream! Oh no!
Zane, both of them!
What happened with the Raging Strike 2?
I'm sorry, commentators cursed that so hard.
The Juju was bad at the end there. Even getting the Raging Strike, not quite sure what happened there. But Xerom gonna take that to the bank to steal round 1. very important to seize control and seize the momentum here early, because you do not want to give either of these competitors on these snowball characters any sort of momentum or any sort of good feeling down the stretch here.
You know, I wondered if, depending on Zane's button layouts, if the input for Raging Strike overlaps with like throw, because it does. It does by default between like Tokon and the 2x KO.
Yep, medium and heavy.
Medium and heavy. So I wonder if that's what that Raging Strike was. Just like, oh shoot, I dropped this. Let me just go for a throw way too soon. But either way, whatever happened there, Zane has largely crumbled here as round 2 is all Xerom. All right, time to refocus and see if we can find victory from that crushing drop of a defeat. Already got the seal set up. Xerom defending, fights back.
One thing from my football days that I remembered, if you're a defensive back, you get beat, you have to have the memory of an elephant. You got to have a short memory. You cannot let that mistake linger on. You got to keep playing the next down, and down Charlotta will go, having to block a little bit of mix here, and again, going to be able to find that throw bait. Has been successful both times. This time, Zane going to have a little bit more to pat himself on the back with, finishing out the combo. Gonna set up into seals. Nah, just gonna go for the spin and get guess for game. Potentially, if this doesn't kill, not gonna jinx it.
Oh,
there you go.
Same situation. This time Zane gets the input, busts out with the seal on the swap, and so able to almost spiritually correct for that previous situation where he had the exact same finisher, almost the exact same amount of life left on Xerom, but instead Zane will take that round. Ooh. And be it as it may, I think the saying goes, an elephant never forgets, and Zane certainly hasn't forgotten his B&Bs with Grimnir here.
Oh yeah, he still got his reps with the guy. It's like riding a bicycle. You never forget Grimnir B&Bs. I think that's what the kids say anyway. Anyway, chasing them down on the other side is going to be the Demon Flip, catching them low. Going to be able to turn that into a nice conversion. 2-2-U to give a little bit more corner carry, a little bit more damage, and the Holy Sword of Lumiel to give us a good knockdown. But Zane fighting their way out. Tricky use of the jump and the air seals.
And yeah, Xerom, you saw, got counter hit there, was trying to snipe Zane from the sky. Knew that Zane wanted to fly up there, but the timing didn't quite work out. Zane will spend the BC, both sides with 2 left. Xerom spot dodges, but it actually isn't at advantage of that situation. Zane has the full pickup here. He's going to cash out, regenerate with the Skybound Art. And I think with the extra 30% damage, this might finally kill for the one time.
Finishing it out this time, the SBA going to end it. And like we're continuing with the sports analogies, all the shooter needs to do is see one 3-pointer go through the net, and that could lead to a heater of a game. We'll see if Xerom can impose a heat check on them, but right now Xerom looking to have some more momentum after the errant game 1, looking very polished in game 2, and a really good start here in game 3.
Zane seemingly in the zone as if he struck Black Flash itself, but Xerom trying to fight back, baits out the dodge. 2U, just poking. Xerom swinging. 2M, I should say, there with Grimnir.
Ooh. Overhead gonna hit. Catching him in the air. That was a crazy use of the JU. Almost like he meant to trap her right there, looking for that empty jump. Zane might be operating on a different wavelength, but that wavelength does not operate in a way that would close the round. So now we gotta use our BC, put us down to 1, but still, you're out of options there. A whole lot of meter to use to put those tornadoes out and close it out. Zane on set point. Nice stuff.
How quickly the pendulum swings between high-level players. After all, we're watching gameplay now where if you give any opportunity, it is immediately capitalized on in terms of both players' skill levels. Zane with a good fuzzy defense against the noble strategy follow-ups. Escapes the mid-screen with the seals. Wants to try and zone out, but that 2H has got great vertical range, but it's a little stubby on that horizontal side.
Ooh, yeah, especially against Charlotta, who had that shallow jump arc. That could be such a good way for Xerom to really throw Grimnir for a loop, but going to be able to be cool, calm, and collected in the face of the multiple clashes. Has space to put up the seals, but again, Xerom shutting that down, not letting him use it at all. Very important to make sure Grimnir does not have free reign of the skies. And this is not a free win for Zane. We're going to round 3 of game 3 to advance further in the top 96 winners.
Loser, of course, I think would have to play one more set. Actually, I need to double check that one. I think both players are indeed qualified for that top 24 spot. It's a matter of, do you go into winners and only need one more to get into top 8, or do you go to losers and have to run a mini gauntlet to get into that amazing arena that CEO showcases? Zane does check the throw with a button mash, sending Xerom back to full screen. And again, the same situation comes up. The spot dodge from Xerom. Yes, you avoided like chip damage. Yes, you avoided getting hit, but Zane had the advantage. Zane still does. Don't think we find the kill here. We have a couple of seals, so it's strike, throw, shimmy. But the jump reversal from Xerom, a classic play from him. Keeps him alive just a little longer. We evade the DP, no punish on it just yet. Both sides down to a last break point. Zane just needs one more hit. Any hit of chip kill will do it.
High though, jumping over the tornado, has found that jump in so many times. Anytime he tried to create space, Xerom's gonna be able to do it. Not quite enough meter. Gonna end with the heavy DP to give ourselves the best situation. Betting it all here on the SFBA. No button, but a delayed one. Zane remaining in place long enough to answer with the delay UDP, and it advances 2-1 over Xerom.
A crazy sequence right there. Xerom going for that super skybound art in Zane's
big belt around your waist, walking out of that wrestling ring here in beautiful Rose and Shingle Creek. Come on now.
Not to mention, too, the benefit it would be for your status on the leaderboard for the Psy Games World Cup. If I remember correctly, CEO isn't a 4-star event. I think it's just a 3, or am I wrong?
I believe, no, this is a 5-star.
5-star, so okay,
auto-qualified? Auto-qualified,
okay,
so
thank you.
definitely.
That makes more sense.
Yep, absolutely. And adding to that revenge factor for BSG was just short last year in the placings, fell out Frosty Fausting, so being able to auto-qualify here, because he's a little bit further back in the leaderboard in terms of points.
Yes.
Being able to secure the CEO win, not just to avenge the second place finish, but just to finally finish the story and getting into the tour finals would be amazing for the story of this competitor. But will we write the pages here for victory, or will we be throwing it away? Either way, it starts here, BSG versus Elsa, and top 96 winners. God, I'm excited for this matchup.
So am I. It is the Cagliostro that Elsa makes the appearance with. It makes sense after all. You're able to kind of play more of that full screen game. You have good movement options as well, using the spare body teleports in order to try and evade or escape Vaseraga. Some situations, the Mihen traps posing another obstacle, but Vaseraga cleared those out very well with his stampeding low, the big sweep. But here we go. Calculations from Elsa are on point here. We dodge the tackle as well, and so Elsa off to a really great start, blowing up the BC input.
Yep, shimmy into that far edge. You think about all of the offensive prowess that this character has, even with the traps not even in play, just being able to shimmy and use that really strong far edge to keep Vaseraga locked down. Probably going to commit to something a little bit more than a Battalions of Fear, because it will stamp out any startup of an armored skill. Even if you don't have access to that Soul Force, it becomes so much harder. You got to bank on an ult skill like that. Reversal command grabs get us away.
Charging up with that buffed 5 EU, giving tons more block stun and hit stun. Really kind of rounding out Charlotta's pressure. But, you know, round this out here. The Mihen traps come through, the spikes. It's already dead, girl. Sheesh, calm down, you centuries-old alchemist.
Look, Cagliostro, she always wants to really rub it in when she proves her hypotheses right, and looking very scientific in their approach early, especially in adopting the spacing that won't let BSG get started with any armor, but unfortunately not going to be the way we start here. Early Soul Force putting Cagliostro in a bind defensively, but a couple of 6XLs to force a block and a throw here to give us a little bit more room.
Another one comes through. It's like throw loops in mid-screen. Street Fighter 6 players, their eyeballs twitching. But look at that, the armor as well, able to deal with that reversal. One of the big strengths of Vaseraga. Ultimate Mihen, a perfect spot dodge to evade your insane BSG.
I can't believe he recovered in time to get away from the ultimate Mihen. That would have been a huge combo starter for Elsa and a way to get out of the corner. But now we're just sitting back full screen, not even going to try to play that mid-range game now that he has access to that armor, utilizes it to go through the traps and get the sweeping slash. Your ultimate Alexandria not going to be punishable, so now we just go back trading these BCs at mid-screen.
Applying the pressure here. BSG does not have that Soul Forge, right? So you're missing that armor in order to sort of make a call out and bully Elsa out of this zoning pattern. The chip is mounting up. BSG is in Super Skybound art range, but usually not a factor with Vaseraga because he's got such great ultimate skills between the Instinction, between the command throw.
20 seconds left on the clock. Cag does not have the lead, so sitting back here, trying to find a spot to get in, trying to use the reinforced rock that they charged with that 5U, but the throw tech, that could be massive here, so now they got to find a way out. but the Raging Strike going to be able to blow through the final diamond of BSG. I don't know if that was going to be a forced Raging Strike response from BSG, but just it came out raw rather than in the middle of a pressure string, and that's what Elsa's going to use to win that first game.
I know, and not only that too, but because BSG was down to his last Brave point, the second that Raging Strike hit, it was deleted, so there was no counter.
Yep.
In that situation, it was a raw hit as well, so you were just getting full comboed after that whiff, so just so many layers of, well, I just lost.
Yep. Got to reset, though.
Mm-hmm.
We said it earlier, between Zane and Xerom, you cannot let that linger. You got to go into game 2 fresh mind. Remember what happened information-wise, but in terms of things that went wrong, execution-wise, just clean it up here, and already looking clean to start things off. The jump over the calculation, looking like they're correct for Vaseraga to get things started.
Clearing out those traps with that Stampede, like I mentioned, and again, we're able to bully armor through, get the full pickup here. Bait out the BC, catch the mash. Bait out the ultimate Mihan, destroy with that, and BSG, I mean, immaculate performance right there, showcasing the power of Vaseraga. The audience showcases their lungs cheering for that strap top 8. Y'all, get out to one of these majors.
Please.
The in-person vibes is immaculate.
Yeah, man. Online is like, it is what it is, but offline, there's truly nothing like it. And there's truly nothing like it when Cat can get started, but we deny that immediately, going for the heavy instinction, going to the ultimate instinction, and now again, clearing that trap. That sweeping slash that you highlighted, Mangaka, has been so clutch in terms of commandeering the neutral from Elsa, who's trying to really reinforce it with those traps, and now a reinforced Vaseraga could potentially be taking this game here if we end it correctly, and we do. BSG answers promptly.
I mean, the dichotomy that we consistently see in some of these sets. Elsa wins, and it's a brawl. It is a slog because Vaseraga is a tanky character, and Cagliostro, not exactly like the most highest damaging character. Certainly has that potential with the right starters and the right resources on hand, but so many of her hits are more of like those death by 1,000 cuts pokes from the full screen. But, you know, Vaseraga gets, if you're close enough to get hit, you are close enough to explode into a million pieces, and BSG just tearing through Elsa with those adjustments, snowballing with this character. And now Elsa is taking a moment to think, okay, you adjusted to the character. Do I need to make the adjustment? Do I need to do the character swap?
Yeah, it was, no, just going Cag.
I like it, I like it. A little bit of ice.
Yeah.
Ice to the bruises, I like it. Ice to the heat.
Yeah, just cool down, figure out a way for you to play this, because again, from the onset, the plan for Elsa was, do not give Vaseraga the space to get armor off. We were a lot more imposing in that mid-range, not necessarily relying on traps so much, using our strong far normals to really keep Vaseraga held down. BSG was being a lot more aggressive in getting the right callouts to get that armor started. So now it's a matter of what spacing will Elsa adopt. Will they sit back and prioritize throwing out traps, or are they going to try to play that far range game again that BSG adapted to?
PSG gets to the Soul Forward Johnson. Now Elsa has to be mindful of Vaseraga coming through with these armored options. It's ticking down right now. The 5M connects. Ooh, we try and look at that. I mean, just you get so much armor with this newer version of Soul Forge with the meter, getting 2 or 3 uses of it per stock. And look at that. Ultimate Extinction leads into the full corner carry and the combo. Elsa now in dire straits. No DP available due to our lack of Skybound gauge.
Yep, had to bet on the jump, but couldn't quite get it. Oh, what the stomp. That is crazy right there. But gonna be able to get the damage. The far medium gonna hit an aerial Cag and stabilizing it with the Raging Strike conversion. BSG at set point. Love to see the Vaseraga at work.
Starting off with the tackle. Elsa spends a BC early. Trying to get a, yo, ambiguous. That's a guard button check if I've ever seen one.
Oh, calculated right in the face. Vaseraga trying to answer back, but just using these far lights, pestering them with these normals. And now still not really letting up, but creating some space here. I see a little bit more of the approach here from Elsa, trying to sit back with these 5Us and these traps, but BSG still getting some space to get out with the ult tackle. Not necessarily going for the armor, but just wants to be a problem. But armor is now in a play here, Mangaka.
Yes, it is. Elsa now has to be mindful of her zoning, is able to space things out, but the punish from BSG with the throw. Tries to catch the jump. Elsa's not ready to whiff. Punish just a little too late. And BSG cleans house 4 straight rounds in a row. the 7.
How Vira and Zooey fares. It's not the best matchup in the world between being very competitive, as I'm referring to Versusia here, very competitive in the mid to longer ranges. That is awkward for Vira against a lot of the matchups in this game, especially very meta-wise. KTP very good at sitting at that, but we'll see if Zooey can get in. Can they take advantage of the offense? But right now, it's KTP really hitting that phase here, getting an early start here in this corner.
Very early indeed. Trying to put the pressure on right now. Alternating between some 6-6Ls and the staggers, of course. Jump goes unchecked, but finally a 6-6L connects, so that's a combo for Zooey. Goes for the early install, setting up a Luminaire, comboing into that 5U. Oh, and the bait on the Brave counter as well. Working out very well for Zooey. He's going to drop the Skybound out as well, trying to just put KTP at a breakpoint deficit.
Ooh, waiting for that far L setup with the Luminaire in front of you. Plus frames after holding down the heavy Darkane and holding down the corner with this great offense, not giving Versusia room to breathe, not even giving him a chance to set up a spacing trap, just wants to stay in her face and be a threat at close range. I think that's a really good play here for Zooey.
Very much agree with that. KTP had a good start against Xerom earlier, but the inverse is happening right now as the raw 5U connects. Now we got our anime install on. 2M connects though, KTP gets the full corner carry, and so just like that, coast to coast. Zooey gets the next bit of offense right here as well. We'll see how Zooey's defense holds up in the next sequence here. Get the Nirvana stack, BC works, hard knockdown as well.
All right, not going to BC on the 2-1-4. That would have given Versusia a chance to give hard knockdown, which is what Vira's going to get here after getting the counter hit BC of their own. The guard cancel is going to put KTP in a bind. And now trying to look for the poke after the 6-6L. Recovered in time to get the SBA as a response. What are you doing pointing that laser at me? You need a license for that. But ain't no clearance for that 100% meter expenditure. KTP answering.
Avatar of Destruction giving out lessons on the subject. KTP taking us to a final round in game number 1. Nothing substantial developing just yet. KTP does get the hit full launch now. It's going to be a knockdown in the corner. Didn't have the stack to follow up, but we had the right read on that reversal DP, so plenty of damage coming up for KTP. Spot dodge perfectly!
Yeah, you gotta know that setup, that close heavy into the spot dodge is so good when used meaty in the corner. Be able to bait out the BC. Gotta be just a little bit composed in that situation. Just gotta hold it for the next battle, but you're gonna go into the next battle down 1-0. KTP, after looking pretty shaky to start things out, was able to course correct quick, fast, in a hurry, expeditiously, as some might say.
About how fast we go into this player 1 corner, but KTP fights back with the jab, catches Zooey. And I think that KTP has a good read on Zooey's defensive habits. There was that second round of game 1 where Zooey did back-to-back Brave counter, so I think KTP recognizes that, yo, you're quick to pull the trigger on those points, leading that situation where he did the close heavy and a spot dodge. He called the last one a fuzzy mash, though, will stop the jump in. And again, Zooey prioritizing the install state over the corner carry, and the damage that we saw paid after going for it in his earlier sets.
Yeah, definitely loving having added offensive prowess in that state between being able to use 236U, 236H to keep the pressure going. But right now, KTP adding up and mounting the pressure to Vira, forcing that BC out, setting up Lumi, but denying that any further action. Oh, I love that, though, calling out the gap in between the 2U and the 623H. This time going to be able to get the super.
Trying to do some chip damage, rocking the plus frames, but reversal for reversal! A cataclysm upon you! And it's enough! The 30% damage increase, Soma!
I didn't think that would kill. I didn't think that would kill. I'm sorry. I know she had 1 BP left, but I was just like, like Vira, what's the next interaction? I'm glad I wasn't on that call. I would have lost us so many channel points. Anyway, we're going to get started here. Put the Lumi out again, forcing Versusia into the left corner, but that 5H target combo, sweeping range, and the follow-up on whiff, giving KTP some breathing room to get out. Oh, but a suffocating combo here if KTP can convert correctly on this counter hit DP punish.
Looking good so far. We're going to get the Nirvana stack at the end of this. Going for a shimmy. Yui trying to adjust the behaviors, not trying to react on the first instinct. Instead, lets KTB do some deeper layers here. Use the Luminaire to get the safe install set up. That's a lot of meters spent just to get into this form. Is that going to be the right play? We'll see. A beautiful fuzzy mash again, but because you spend all of that on your install, the Raging Strike, I should say, did not have any meter to follow with the Raging Chain, so a waste of resources for Yui. KTB down to the last point, 30% extra damage on any potential hit that Yui is able to find. No punish on the throw. It's getting scary, Zoma!
Oh man, catching out the startup of Anicha, trying to claim some space, but Yui taking it very quickly. And now, even on the minus frames, KTP letting the DP rip, giving Yui something else to think about. Empty tension right here, so much so that you can cut it with a knife. Trying to cut through the neutral with the 2-1-4U, but just pulls up a little bit short.
The throw, it connects. KTP now didn't spot the next throw coming up. He had a little bit of time before that Luminaire was active and forced him to the block string. And so Yui able to tie up the round counts here. The gamble on that install state paying off.
All right, hard knockdown. Not going to be able to get the hit into the Lumi conversion, but going to be able to get it here. 6XL, not the best starter in the world, but it's not about the damage. It's about the position that you're putting Versusia in.
Check the throw. DP trying to stop him. No unblockable setup though, and just before that Raging Strike could come out, the BC interrupts some KTP. However, Yui does not let them escape this corner. Transform. Get the full combo pickup as well. One more mix ought to do it.
Oh, and being able to close out game 2 with the great corner pressure. Good stuff from Yui, and I love the way that they're structuring their pressure. Very important to note that heavy Scarlet Oath, that lunging attack where Vira glows yellow, very strong because it's -1 on block. And against most characters in the game that have a 5-frame option, they will throw it out. But Versusia being a 6-framer, Yui and Vira can jab. So that's an advantageous spot for Vira. That's very good in this matchup to continue offense. Good stuff there from Yui.
Great awareness on the matchup play. We find the right spot to DP this time. The normal throw connects. Set up Luminaire. Triple strike low into a full pickup as well. KTP's defense kind of crumbling away here. BC from Yui just to maintain offense. But good reads again from KTP. And now Yui down to a final point. Doesn't matter though, you get the short little combo scoop right there. BC at that moment, last chance for both players here with those BPs. Yui though, plenty of life to their name.
Absolutely, doesn't want to play around those plus frames, but not going to play around Anicha at all. Not playing around in neutral. I got 50% and a dream. You know I'm full sending, especially with that install version of Scarlet Oath, giving them added range, closing the distance, and closing in on advancing into a top 24 losers qualifier. KTP, though, sensing the urgency, immediately mashing out.
As a Nirvana stack, holding on to it for now. Able to evade the jump in. But good move in there from Yui, navigating all of that zoning, the clash, the throw text, both sides, professional responses.
Selective aggression here from Yui, not necessarily just running straight at KTP, but finding the right spots to roll, to walk at her. Very good movement and very good throw here. The no escape forced off of the delayed throw. Yui now getting started.
I love that Yui is making those defensive adjustments there. I think KTP paused, might have been trying to look for that brave counter attempt, but instead Yui goes for the reversal throw. And so as long as you're able to shuffle around those options, keep your opponent guessing as to how you'll respond to their offense, you can open up another path to victory. KTP gets the next hit, goes in, that close heavy, trying to box it, Yui in this corner. Oh, the BC just barely able to reach, interrupting.
Hashtag -1 denying that opportunity, not going to play the RPS. Very smart adjustment here from KTP, but down to their final brave point, not going to be able to do it now. Mashing on the -1, doesn't care about the frame situation. Now we're sitting dead even in neutral. Hard knockdown here, Mangaka.
Chip kill comes right on through as KTP is checkmated and is eliminated.
Of course, being one of the stronger Zooey players in the Granblue sphere, but up against one of the last bastions in the Sandalphon Supremacy Committee in Cowhunter. Now, I did get to see Cowhunter here last year, my first time actually being at this major. I got to see him pull off a great upset against Riazo to make it out of pool. So the pedigree of Cowhunter cannot be understated. Very, very strong player, very neutral focused player, and of course with a character that has strong pokes, has a pretty good fireball in various states in Sandalphon. I'm going to be interested to see how he plays that up against Zooey, who can be a bit of a neutral monster if she has access to these dragon skills. And of course, very generously good pokes of her own.
Yes, indeed, and kind of like, I kind of like how you talked about like the offline record there for Cowhunter. Got 9th at that particular CEO last year, though. So despite the upset to Rialzo, just barely missed out on that top 8 spot last year. But still, compare that to Tubbie's record, right? And Tubbie largely plays in online brackets. Going on through, it's all Kirby's Dreamland, it's all Paragon. There was Slashback Volume 14, where they capped out at 13th place, as well as, I believe, Awaited Fate, which they got 2nd at. But outside of like those couple performances and the online stuff, there's no Frosty Fasting attendance, there's no Evo attendance, there's no CEO. Well, now there's CEO here. No Combo Breaker attendance, right? So Tubbie, we have to see how they translate into this offline environment. 13th is a really good spot at Slashback, but CEO is definitely the bigger tournament here, and you're running into somebody who got 9th last year. Even though you have the win record online, I wonder how the matchup plays when you're not in the comfort of your own home, playing on like your own setup, but instead you're on stage, right? You're on stream where the nerves are completely different. You're just much more out there, I guess you could say, as a player. It's something that it took me a long time in my own personal career to get over, and sometimes I still struggle when I go up and I'm like, all right, you're about to farm me for flips, it's fine, do it.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm a commentator.
Absolutely. When you're on the stream setup as well, too, it's an added bit of pressure, but right now the pressure is going to be started with Zooey, going to be able to get the frame trap starter, counter hit far heavy. Not a ton of it mid-screen, but still setting up the screen position. This is where Zoe's at her strongest, being able to threaten that far heavy, that far medium, that 2M, and just delay and put these dragon skills, which Cowhunter is trying to get out of in a hurry, but they might be going right back in here.
Tubbie already off to a really good start here, but a good bait on the BC from Cowhunter. Allows him to keep up some form of offense. We don't do the follow-ups. Great awareness from Tubbie. Did not want to overextend and get blown up on block. The trade, though, honestly probably pretty good for Tubbie considering the life differential. There you go. The ultimate skill connects. That's round 1.
Wow, betting it there on the old lariat. I believe that is still safe if she does use it in neutral that way, but being able to hit it on, you know, straight up as a strike and an attack, going to be able to close out the round. So nothing doing in that aspect. Nothing really matters. But what matters right now is what are you going to do to be able to get out of this corner? Tubbie already with the same advantage that they started round 1 with. Even better now here in round 2, landing that shimmy far heavy.
Cowhunter, again, not really able to find momentum here just yet with this Sandalphon. Gets the jump in with that JU, connects with the low. Catches a jump, and now we're coast to coast. Fire attribute is applied, trying to increase our damage, but now that Tubbie is out, could actually come back to bite Cowhunter since Sandalphon also takes increased damage in these elemental states.
Oh, and I believe that No Escape with that 10% extra put that into a killing throw situation. So like you said, came back to bite them as they couldn't quite find the mash timing to get out of that throw. Tubbie going to be able to go up 1-0. Looking very strong here. Really good with the offense and just really not giving Cowhunter a chance to breathe. It's been high APM when they achieved that phase into the game.
Doesn't seem like that Cowhunter potentially is on that same wavelength as last year when they got that upset over Rialzo. Might have not had as much time to grind with the game. Just might not be in that same mental space. Sometimes you show up and you have a different day than you did like earlier, right? So we'll have to see though. The jumping is absolutely clean here from Cowhunter. Maybe just needed that one game to warm up against Tubbie. However, the cross up, guard button check, paying off dividends here for Tubbie as Cowhunter once again put into the corner. Has to defend.
I do love routing into the 2-3-6U to reset our Dragon Gauge to get our corner pressure out. But again, Cowhunter now finding a way out of these corner situations consistently. Second time that super jump has gotten them out of dodge, and now putting Zooey in the own corner situation, forcing the counter hit BC to go down to 1 BC, 0 BC. Tubbie gonna have to really parlay this offensive situation into a win here.
Dropping the lightning, trying to do as much tip damage as possible to Cowhunter. And there it is, the Zooey throw shimmy. The jump into ultimate fireball, catching the button, and Cowhunter blinked in the staring contest. Tournament life looking like it could be over, going from 9th place to a potential 33rd here unless they are able to pivot right now and find victory.
Looking like there's going to be victory in tow for Zooey, but definitely one thing that we know for sure is that they're going to be setting up pretty nice in this corner. Couldn't quite get the confirm. I think they didn't have the aerial spin or the spinning slash available to them, so they didn't quite get the
for the year was that 25th spot at Combo Breaker. So like you said, just missing out on those top 24 spots, and that could be a very big milestone for them. No stranger to getting some top 8s on online events, right? Like I'm seeing 7th place, 5th place finishes between events like Kirby's Dreamland, Curry Cup, Conway Clash, so has had that online success in some of those brackets, but once you get into the offline environment, just needs to find a way to transition to that victory. And we actually see yolksoup pulling up with the Siegfried. Not a surprise.
Yep.
He's really good this patch, y'all.
He is pretty good. I mean, I think if anybody follows me on Twitter, I think you understand how I feel about the strength of this character. I mean, I got to see him and commentate him at Astro Fitness Scavengers, winning that off of some gameplay that I wasn't too much of a fan of, but I'm still a fan of seeing some good Granblue action here between yolksoup and Biskit. Winner moving on here, but yolksoup already moving on to the left side of the screen. Biskit trying to find a way out with these 6XLs on block, but Siegfried is a moving wall.
Well, you're shoved between the corner and the wall, as you put it. Biskit has to BC out, but there it is, an ultimate fireball again into the dash heavy extension. Not enough to get the kill yet, but we are trying to push for as much damage as possible. Get the Oki set up. A simple little shimmy to throw does it. yolksoup off to a strong start here in this first encounter ever between these two players.
Man, oh man, but I know that Biskit has encountered against Siegfried a lot of times. A matchup that is much to the chagrin of a lot of Charlotta players, not a one that you really want to go against. Because that moving wall up against a character that's just trying to find any way in to get their offense started can be a very tough traversal, and even harder when you have access to the meterless DP, the reversal that gets Charlotta away from you. And now yolksoup once again in a good spot, but Biskit trying to poke and prod their way back.
Pushing back with the BC. 6XL catches, but there's not much more than that. We try to get in with the Shining Onslaught. Not quite connecting. All right, a little bit of damage here. The throw as well. Things are starting to look up for Biskit.
Oh, but denied by that ultimate fireball, but right back at you with the ultimate holy ladder. Unholy positioning that they're finding themselves in is yolksoup, so we get out of here, counter hit PC, go back to neutral, a phase that we would much rather be at than with our back against the wall. The Biskit wants you in that right corner, and going over the sweep with the demon flip. What a call out there.
Absolutely insane call out as well, able to punish that 2U by going over with the noble strategy. So now the rounds are all tied up here. Let's see who brings it home in this instance. The 5H connects. That's going to be the EX back special as well. 2H not in time to catch you airborne, so it's completely blocked. Biskit now with the full combo coming through.
We had an earlier interaction where that shallow jump arc did cause the 2H to whiff, so I do love Biskit going back into that same well, coming up with a full bucket of water, and now looking to drink from the well of victory. But well done is the offense of Siegfried when he's able to reinforce it with that fireball, the Nell and Nev and the 2M to keep Charlotta at bay, and the 6XL going to get the hit off of that situation. Nice.
Very nice indeed. Back and forth between these two, but kind of feels like Biskit had a lot more scramble going on with their offense, whereas yolksoup a lot more airtight in the pressure. Maybe it's just a dynamic of the characters. Maybe just the fact that yolksoup was getting Biskit into the corners, whereas Biskit was doing a lot of that set play in mid-screen. Either way, coming right on through, the no escape. It's going to lead to yolksoup getting the throw. A jump is caught out. Biskit trying to take to the skies, very much like Xerom, but the timing not quite there.
Oh, almost had it there too, jumping over the 2-1-4, but the back throw right there going to put them in the corner. No escape, but potentially no escape from this corner situation, so we need to use RPC to get out of here. But right now, we get the 2H to finally hit that Siegfried damage off of a heavy. Mangaka, I think this is it.
It is indeed. Great optimization there from yolksoup. Explosive damage. One of my favorite 2Hs to press in this game because of the dopamine hit. I see it when I see all red. My eyes just turn over, and I am just a bull in the Matador Arena, just chasing flags.
Oh man, chasing a spot in this top 24 are both of these competitors. Biskit trying to really make sure that this set point does not end here in this round. yolksoup, though, looking very clean, very dominant in this offense. It feels like we haven't seen Charlotta get offense started at all this set.
Might be a chance here for the offense here. Beautiful jump shimmy. Able to punish the throw with a cross-up as well. So now you're able to put yolksoup into this player 2 corner. And how dare you stand? That's not how you talk to short people. Down block. Meet him at eye level.
Oh, well, they didn't down block there because they got caught off the demon flip. Oki going into the low. So Biskit now showing signs of life here. yolksoup got to play one more round to advance, but Biskit demands a game 3. Can we get it started here? The demon flip denied with the air-to-air swipe from Siegfried. yolksoup now trying to use the 2H to tail them, trying to jump over the fireball, but again, Biskit very smart with these jump arcs.
Biskit starting to get a little bit of momentum here, is able to read the command throw, gets that jump out as well. Looking very Xerom-esque. Has seen the playbook, is trying to incorporate that in their own play. The bait as well, catching out the Brave counter input. Biskit now just needs one more hit to close this out. Is going to drop the SBA to put a little bit more pressure on the yolksoup. Strike or throw, what'll it be? The overhead comes through. And the chip damage as well. Excellent retaliation there from Biskit.
Unbelievable composure here. Again, we mentioned the story behind this run here for Biskit. Wants to get the monkey off of their back, finally get that top 24 spot, and you're staring down the barrel of an unfavorable matchup and a yolksoup Siegfried that is just running rampant, forcing you to set point. The composure to still claw back to a game 3, but right now yolksoup starting off very well in this game 3, like we've already seen so far in the set.
Yeah, does the BC though, just to get Siegfried off. The combo drops, however, that's going to punish on the Noble strategy, failing the execution check. Could be disastrous here. We do get the combo into the throw. Unblockable? No!
Season 1, no!
There was a reversal coming out from Biskit's end as well. I'm not sure what we pressed. Maybe it was the wrong option, but even yolksoup seeming surprised, like, wait, that worked? You let that happen.
Like,
I went for it by mistake.
I can't believe that. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe that actually worked. I'm a genius.
6XM. Catching the overhead as well. yolksoup, the defense against this Noble strategy, not quite seeming on par. I am happy that they are blocking low, because if you get hit by the overhead, that's all the damage you take. You get grabbed because you stood up. It's a full combo for Charlotta, especially in that corner. Speaking of, welcome to it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Bold, a 6-6H right there. Maybe anticipating a mash here from Biskit. I get it, you're up around. Maybe you end the round right there by getting a clean hit on a heavy, but a clean parry right there, denying the 6XM. And again, gonna get the throw bait. Biskit wins the shimmy. My God, we're going to a final round here in game 3. Top 24 on the line for the both of them.
Somebody's excited for that Kingdom Hearts anime, because that plane was simple and clean for Biskit. Taking us into a final round here. Loser goes home at 33rd place.
Ooh, but a really well-placed shimmy right there, right out of the range of the 2-1-4. Has played so well around it, and so well by baiting out the immediate defensive options, whether it's been throw or BC. The run up into the jump has gotten them, and so has this Demon Flip command grab. Biskit is so close to finally getting that top 24 spot, but the combo won't be quite enough.
BC comes out. We're still fighting on through, and yes, you are right. There it is. Biskit breaks the threshold. Top 24, loser's side. yolksoup sent home at 25th place here at CEO. Overcoming, running into Kojicoco. Already has a spot guaranteed in the Side Games World Cup with that combo breaker win, of course. So the stakes aren't as high for him here, but it's still pulling up for the love of the game.
Yep.
I put respect on that name. Man's not disappearing into the mountains, vanishing and saying, like, when I return, y'all will not be ready. But instead, he's letting y'all know where he's at. So our first Zeta of the stream. Actually, I think it's just button check.
I think it's a button check,
yeah, because we usually see the Vira coming out from Yui.
Yeah. I would love to see the Zeta, though. That's a character, honestly, I think is kind of written off, because there's always that potential women joke that she has. But I think that in this version of the game currently, with changes that Siegfried got, she also got some pretty strong changes to stabilize her game plan. The buff to her 2M now being 8 frames, a lot more generous corner carry on her routing from pretty much anywhere on the screen. Just has always been a very strong and stable character in terms of being a defensive-based character. But no, it's going to be the offensive-based character with the Vira. Looking for that color. Want to make sure that we've got the palette all nice and ready as we go up against the red-clad Versusia. So a repeat matchup for Yui. But I don't know, has Sukinoe stepped up to the Albion Fencer gauntlet yet in their path? We'll see how familiar we are with the matchup, because Yui looked pretty okay against KTP even when the chips were down. We'll see how it plays out here in a much more stacked environment.
Yes, and indeed. This is again the loser side of top 24. First time these two have ever played each other in a bracket, so it's time to see who gets the faster download.
All right.
She said that Oni-sama.
Oh, no,
Not even in my name in Catalina. It's like, no, that's my Oni-sama.
That's One-sama. That's your girl. That's your Oshi. You got to play for the Oshi. You know, Jury won Capcom $1 million because the guy was playing for his Oshi.
Right.
It's that Oshi power-up is real. It is real. That's why you see them always come up with a plush to the stage. That's real. I never discount it. I'm just like, you know what? I can't take this lying down.
Become the character.
Become the character. See the ball, be the ball. But right now, eyes are on the prize for both of these competitors. Now looking for a lot of this corner pressure, expending both heavy skills that you would use in neutral. The Samsara, the Death Pillar, they just want Vira in this corner, and they want them dead, Mangaka.
Yeah, but the combo doesn't quite come through on that DP punish, so damage left on the table. However, another opportunity gone awry here, but still, Sukinoe, good life lead right now, spends the first breakpoint to get Yui off. Drops the ultimate fireball.
No! Man, the activity still on the screen. Doesn't matter which part of the active frames hits you, you will still enter that crumple state that allowed that conversion for Sukinoe. So, oh man, Yui trying to find the last bit of free space to get in, but running into their own demise in that round. Unfortunate for them, but fortunate for Sukinoe.
You know the hit's good when the commentators harmonize like that. Good God, man. Sukinoe running with that momentum. Yui, the DP does land this time. Tries to defend. Nuh-uh, son. That was not your turn to press, and now we get the throw. Applying pressure. Sukinoe, I think, trying to call out some throws coming through. After all, does not want to give away a free install. Tex it this time. The clash. We're able to get the full connection here. It's going to be a coast-to-coast combo. Did you bait? You did not.
Oh, yeah, just spending it on the reversal super right here. Going to go coast to coast and with the knockdown with the medium DP. Not going to be quite in the face, but still going to be able to run up, go into the throw. Lumi reinforcing the far medium and getting the throw bait with the 214M. We love to see the install on Yui. We wonder why they go into that strategy, but the offensive prowess that you get, different touches will lead to more reward. And that throw bait, definitely one of the highlights in Yui's game plan once he achieves that higher state.
It's kind of funny that in that form, Vira kind of floats up there, right? Has like the symbols behind her and everything. Kind of looks like the Avatar Destruction herself.
Why?
And that
Yeah.
scene, it's just like, Zane, like, this is how you queen, honey.
This is how you slay.
Slay away. The pillar gonna catch, stopping the offense. Send out the ball. Offense, we're going for the empty jump, but Yui with a good fuzzy mash again. We've seen Yui showcase that defensive option against KTP earlier. It's gonna stabilize with a Raging Strike. Gets the install yet again. Completes the combo, gets a set play. These throws connecting over and over again. Zoma, can Sukinoe find the escape?
Oh, goes for the throw even on the plus frames after the charged arcane, and the DP gonna whiff. Sukinoe might find their way back and their way into the corner as they go for the side switch, set up the pillar, get Vira to hold down back a little bit, but Yui does have that health lead.
Yep. Trying to find the turn. And this time, catches out that fuzzy mash. Sukinoe, I feel like you have to find a kill on this combo, but the resource is not quite there. We're going to spend the ultimate skill. Combo limit is reached. Any hit will do for Yui here. Chip kill is now a factor, and you blocked, and that was it. As Yui going to take that first game over Sukinoe. Ooh. One more to get into the loser side top 24.
It's been achieving those checkmate situations that have been getting Yui so far in this CEO run, especially like we were seeing with KTP, trying to win that resource war so that Sukinoe has to hold even the -1 RPS, even if it doesn't result in a chip kill. That's Vira continuing offense in a matchup where that's extremely important, and you're seeing it right here, getting the early start, and a lot of damage off the table with the jump in JH over the Nimbus. Yui look very strong now.
DP just to check for any sort of escape option. Has the Grimnir to cover it. Sukinoe, though, gets the full pickup. He's going to set up that play. It's the same situation. You ran into the fireball, son. You can't keep letting him do it.
Deceptive activity. It just lingers on screen for about 3 years, 6 seasons in a movie. But now gonna not be able to go into a free install. The Lumi not quite in the range to hold Versusia down. So the Samsara gonna get the full punish here. Really good recognition from Sukinoe, knowing they could beat the Lumi to punish the super install.
Fantastic stuff. Once again, just gonna float and mog on you. You were saying, visit.
214M denying the plus frames, does not want to hold that. This time not going for that fuzzy mash on the 623H. Got caught for that the last time, but getting caught by the pillar looking for that DP setup. I like that counterplay from Sukinoe.
Right, the adjustments here saying like, listen, there's no way that's real, and this is why. You can't do that to me, not anymore. I've seen it once. I have adapted. The wheels have turned. But are you the op stopper?
Might need to stop trying to go for added movement there, but runs right into the Anicha. We may go back to that interaction a little bit later, but Sukinoe has been swinging on that -1 each time, but this time going to find the right time to swing with a little bit of meter to get the super reversal, but not quite enough to kill. But the 623H will smite you out of the air. Good anti-air there.
Good anti-air there, and just like that, rounds are all tied up. It's going to a final game situation here between these competitors. Who will get into top 24? We see a character select, hovered, and selected from Yui. Are we going to be switching off of the Vira? Are we not a loyalist like Char? Or are we just taking a moment to ice the wounds, cool down the hot streak? Very contemplative here. The Catalina is hovered, but no, it's back to the Vira. We're just taking time and composing ourselves. I like it. It's all default, all locked in, no fancy customizations, no skins, no weapons. It's just Vira in her purest form now as we take to the highest point of the skies themselves.
Yeah, we will see who ascends into the later stage of our bracket. Top 24 losers once again on the line. So this is where it all begins. And again, denying that. I love the counterplay, not letting them get that free setup with Illumi, going for the Death Pillar. But with the Death Pillar on cooldown, they opted for Samsara. The Lariat a little bit too short, so you get punished, and Vira gets installed anyway.
Yeah, no throw punish right there, but it's still Yui's turn as Sukinoe locked up in this corner. Empty low, Raging Strike, gets a full hit as well, Zoma!
I cannot believe they were able to still get that full raw Raging Strike. Maybe just a little bit of a tweak or a twitch from Sukinoe wouldn't let them respond in kind with their own diamond, but Yui, now at set point, very thankful that that occurred.
We'll see how it comes up here. The far heavy reaches. No Nirvana follow-up there, so the combo has to end at that DP motion. Protects the throw, good defense from Yui, but Sukinoe, it's my turn to play on the Xbox. That's a PlayStation 5.
Oh man, so the games we play when we have them in the corner, twitching and fearing any sort of strike. Sukinoe leaning back in the chair, can smell it in the air. We got one more round, but Yui can say the same, to stay locked in. Eyes darted at the screen. Who is going to be racing towards that top 24 spot? Right now it's Versusia racing to the corner, getting offense started with the safe jump.
Good bait right there, as this could be the genesis of the top 24 appearance here. Trying to feel it in that air. Oh man, the patience, the connection on the Raging Strike. There's no BP for Yui to respond with. It's a 50% off sale on your life bar as well without those points. Any hit will do. Just keeping up the pressure here, Yui.
This is such a tough spot, 62 seconds left. There's no impetus for Versusia to get started, but we will get started with our top 24 journey. Sukinoe gonna advance Yui head in hands. Head down, but gonna have to hold their head.
We're not fans of the author, but darn it, he wrote something good, unfortunately. Either way, people are allowed to make mistakes. And we're gonna move on from that referential mistake by talking about the set right here. PhonicS versus Tortilla Flipper, our last set of this block of top 96. We do have more Granblue coming up as well. We're gonna see the second wave of top 96 to finalize our top 24 taking place tomorrow. John Granblue himself, all decked out in peak. Is that Nicole Demera behind you? Hold up, what game are we playing right now? I did not realize. This is the wrong gotcha. Get out of here.
Absolutely. They are going to get out of there. Make way for the protagonist of our story, but who will be the hero of this set between the Eustace of the Society versus Gran of the protagonist? And right now, just holding them down right here with a little bit of help from our yellow grenade friend, but we get out of dodge. Quick match here from PhonicS, though.
Good start right now. I love the Tortilla Flipper sponsor is with beans. I got them beans in there. Are they black or pinto?
I like both.
Both all right. I used to go pinto at my Chipotle.
True.
They sponsoring the CEO? I don't remember. They're around.
They're around. But
know.
the round is going to be going in Tortilla Flipper's favor. Going to be able to bait out the 623U. No meterless reversal on tap for Eustace. So when they get access to that 50% meter, Tortilla Flipper acutely aware of it and being able to call it out there in that situation, going to be able to be why they take that first round of the first game.
Here we go. Sending them back towards this corner. PhonicS going to bust out with the BC. Jump, not quite in time to punish the Flameck Thunder. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of Grand's fireball. That's something funky.
Regenlave.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, it is. You like that one?
Yeah.
German? No. It looks German to me.
I have no idea. I don't know what the language of this guy is, but I do know a W when I see one, and it could potentially be on the end of this throw bait here. Big damage again, like I said. Tortilla Flipper knows that John Granblue, not a Wonder Bread character when it comes to that damage. If he hits you with a good hit, that's half your health bar gone, brother.
Nah, man, that's not Wonder Bread. That's all natural. Home-cooked bread loaf right there with the seeds.
With the seeds. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Seeds with the grains on top. You know? Yeah. Good sandwich bread. Good sandwich bread.
I'm scared of mentioning any other like brand names right now. I'm like, am I allowed to say these brands on stream right now?
This is true. I could have been a little bit more careful with that.
Maybe. I don't know, right?
I don't know.
I'm like sitting here like, oh, is this why I'm not even going to finish that sentence. See, like that's the mind games we're playing now, chat. It's like, what am I allowed to say? I'm already in trouble for this one game alone. Probably. It's like mangaka. Don't talk about that mangaka, okay?
Oh my god.
Shut up about mangakas, mangaka.
Oh my god.
I miss Mira every day. I'm allowed to say that.
All right, but no mistake here for PhonicS. Going to really just lock in on the Eustace, even though the game went awry. Maybe just says, you know what, I just need an adjustment to the strategy, not the character itself. So locked in for the rest of the set with, again, the Flamec wielder, the bouquet in hand. We'll see if things come up roses in this set. Already looking pretty peachy, but again, Tortilla Flipper found a way out quickly, looking like the same situation, but a little bit more reinforcements than Tab this time.
PhonicS gets the hit, taking Tortilla into this corner here. In fact, I had the player stats pulled up. It's the first time these two have ever fought in a bracket, which surprises me because, you know, I'll see PhonicS in some of the online brackets we got out here. And I've seen Tortilla Flipper before as well in Granblue. Getting fancy with these, you know, getting jumpy. Gran doing a Charlotta impression. Look at me. I'm Xerom.
Sometimes you do have to take a little bit of that risk in neutral to circumvent a lot of the shots. No meter on tap to represent a killing option after the Raging Strike, but still going to be able to slide on in there. Get our first round win of the set. So again, finally seeing the shot go through the basket. Can PhonicS parlay that into a score on the set count? Looking like a good idea so far to just keep him at bay, force the jump in. Maybe potential call out later, but right now it's just PhonicS getting started with the offense.
Yeah, wants to try and make a deeper run in this. After all, PhonicS, the Florida representative here, has won a Conmay Clash, number 30 to be exact, but sort of, you know, at the Combo Breaker, right, got 25th place there, and their best performance was one more round, second place. Some of the other events have to highlight at ftcombo.com, so has only really been playing in the Shonen Slams or one more rounds this year, it seems. So coming out of CDO, wants to have a good performance. Pulling up this year. Oh, God.
Oh, no! You had access to so much damage. You had access to the world, but it's going to be the world giving you karmic measure for not finishing that counter hit close heavy combo. SSBA was probably on tap. That was going to be a potential guess for game situation, but now we go to game 3. The Eustace conviction with the champion being paid off here. Now Tortilla Flipper. Can we answer to get us to top 24, or is this going to be it?
Yeah, let me make an amend as well when I was talking about the Shonen Slams. Those are Dragon Ball brackets for Granblue stuff this year. Been pulling on up, playing in the Juicy Monthly, won that one. Kirby's Dreamland, Osprey, TNS, has been in these online events. And again, recently won a Shonen Slam in Jacksonville, Florida, and the Conmay Clash as well in July. So it's coming up on a hot streak, but now is trying to find a way to keep the losers run alive at CEO. Tortilla Flipper gets pushed back, wants to bust out as well. Got 17th at EVO this year, 25th at EVO Japan. So definitely wants to go just a little bit further beyond when it comes to their bracket performance here.
Yeah, but you are not beyond the reach of the heavy rat race, waiting for your spot dodge recovery and able to extend the combo after the fact, even from a distance. We'll send it express with the Flamec conversion. PhonicS going to try to get an express delivery to top 24 if they can win one more round here.
One more round. Can you find it? No anti-air on that jump in. Tortilla Flipper with the JM. Puts PhonicS into the corner. Teching the throw. Good defense. Spot dodge and everything at these ranges. Oh, the shimmy. It works out for PhonicS here. Tortilla Flipper now has to find a way to escape, and the dodges aren't it so far.
Eustace in the corner with most of their skills. This is a really tough spot for Tortilla Flipper to find themselves in. Looking for a knock-in. But now
Ooh.
we bust down the door, going through the Reagan wave with the SBA. Full cinematic, and it's enough to kill the breadwinner for Eustace against Tortilla.
Lancelot players wrote him off. We see Redeemer, we see Kill,
right.
there's people who came off of other characters who they thought were good, and there's the main argument, honestly, I've heard is that Lancelot's fun, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
do your stuff.
He's fun. I've seen so often, though, that North America really likes to bully this character, especially during some of his pressure strings, just like we saw here
Yeah.
now with Insurgent.
Yeah, shout out Sam launching without movement lockout on 6XL, and Lancelot players still kind of playing like that's the case. I don't think you're going to see a lot of 6XL block strings out of anyone playing other than Lancelot, but you also see the ult Rekka. I love that usage out of Kill, more as a whiff punish tool because it covers so much space so quickly into the hard knockdown. It's not a mega reward, but it sets up what he needs. He can get the heavy fireball out, he gets some good corner carry, and it's actually pretty good damage. All right,
That's the quarter carry. Got the wall splat here, so able to extend a little bit further. Early tech out, though.
That was actually kind of a tricky setup. I think
Yeah.
that was an intentional air reset even. Good patience here.
Push out. Wah! Just
Ooh.
outside that impulse blade.
Yeah, this is a one-touch round pretty much for anyone.
Excellent BC. Yep, see, we're constantly checking
Great
the water reaction.
And that was the last crystal gone. This is going to kill.
Yep. The once in a blue moon where Lancelot will kill with the super.
Yeah, for sure. I do think he's in that, Zeta, Vaseraga, characters who were very built around their ults because they have very powerful ultimate moves, and you just don't see the supers as often. Really, I think Lancelot has some of the best utility ults. Of course, the slowdown, the unique, ice that maybe could be applied to a character who has a pact with a, astral of ice. That'd be cool, I'm just saying, but good dodge to get the full punish here. Yeah,
definitely have to call out that ult DP. All right, Rat Race applied here. Give it a moment, because there is certainly the threat of an impulse at that range, but we're kind of waiting on another ult impulse potentially here. Rekka a little bit too far at the far heavy, so we get the whip punish off the close
great
combat.
pickup, yeah. Using that and the wall splat, sick pickup.
All right, second to reset, another Rat Race applied. Great ult DP to call out.
Doesn't get the side switch though. Okay, this is a big hit. I was about to say he's going to need to spend 50 to either side switch or corner carry. All right, Kilvenz back in this, has the crystal advantage, but not a lot of resources to work with and not a lot of health to work with.
All right, another Rat Race once more. BC out, tries to maintain this corner position that you've well earned. Insurgent actually a touch away from death if we can get the opener here for Kilvenz.
Chip is certainly an issue. And look at Insurgent walking for meter. That was so important. He's just about oh, and the pickup off of the heavy fireball. Kills actually very clutch decision, both on the teleport and being ready for it to hit. You see it so often where people kind of like throw something out and they aren't ready for the hit. They're like, oh wait, that hit, I don't get the combo. I really like seeing that out of Kilvenz, doing the teleport with intent. Like, if this connects, I am ready to smoke him. And he, in fact, did that up one game here.
Absolutely.
All right, so Insurgent, back to character select. I don't think we're seeing a change. I think he's just taking a moment to breathe. I like that. That's how you know that he's locked in, as a real competitor. Even though he's already qualified, what happens in this, unless he wants to gatekeep a specific player, really, this could be a vacation. But no, he's playing it serious. He's taking his time. He's breathing. And it's just practice, right?
Yeah, there's so many players at this point that have either already qualified or pretty comfortable-ish within the range of qualifying that are just really pining for those extra points. Again, it is your best 2 scoring points out of a 5-star event that carries over. So definitely want to try to get as high as you can to still maintain that score and proper seeding.
I actually, looking at the site the other day, I saw that they are not seeding off of points at all.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They're doing, you get the auto qual, and then it's positioning based on region as well to qualify in. Yeah.
Do you know, is Cygames Cup also the same event, or is the finals at Cygames Cup?
The finals is at
as
Cygames
a separate
Cup.
event.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Cygames Cup
it is the finals, that whole thing.
Is Cygames Cup still open entry like it historically has been, though? That's the question.
That's a great question, actually. I would have to double check. I will reach out to Yamaguchi-san, see if I can get the answer.
All right, Insurgent, though, getting around on the board, pretty dominating with that one. And even though Eustace is not the highest damage character for as strong as his individual tools are, 14K makes everybody a high damage character. So fighting Lancelot, pretty good benefit for him here. Yeah, just bails out. Smart on him to not push a button and extend a hurt box into that 2H.
right, nice. Got the uppercut here. Rat Race applied. Keep it locked down with the explosion. Jeez.
That was perfect spacing anyways, honestly. It didn't matter if it hit because he oh, wow. I don't know if the intention of that was to low profile, but it worked out like that.
Did. Oh, BC a little bit far.
Yeah,
we'll take that.
Was looking for the punish, and that is fairly difficult to do. If you time a BC correctly against that ult Flamek, you can in fact get a punish, but fairly tight window to do that, especially to punish with a raw ult. Insurgent straight back on the board. That was actually a pretty clean two rounds in a row for him. Looking unfazed. Both these guys having fun. Yeah, Kilvenz like, yeah. Pop, pop, scrap.
I mean, honestly, Insurgent definitely the type of individual to take at least a game to kind of adjust, take notes on the opponent's behavior. I think we're pretty well adjusted going into this round here, though.
Good patience by Kilvenz.
The push out, record delay. Nice. BT. Still our turn. I mean, this life lead is certainly in favor for Insurgent. Just get the ultimate DP away.
Yeah, rare DP, but he was sitting on 100 meter,
Yeah.
and eventually when you have that much meter, you got to find a way to spend it because you're not making meters.
Exactly. All right. Ooh, what a challenge here with the light. Good spot dodge. Is still going to get a punish against that light. Legit. That race, a scary position. Nice with the far heavy.
Oh, sick pickup. And that, again, look at the difference on 14K. If that was another character other than like Lance or Six or Ferry, that would probably not have killed. Maybe he would have wall split and he could have gotten more, but he wouldn't have died just off that
Right. All right, backing off. The turbulence gets
Insurgent is actually kind of content to just hold the teleport out of Lance. He's not going to risk, even though there's not really the same reward for getting counter hit by the slash that there used to be. He's just like, I'll block it. Nice check here.
Very good.
You thought a Lancelot wouldn't press 5L. Kill might not be an old school Lancelot main, but he's in there.
Yeah. All right. At least spot dodging, ready to strike. Even on Brave counters, but health, that's a different story entirely.
Yeah. Good meter situation here. Okay, got to make something out of this. Gonna just spend the SSBA to take the last two crystals. I do like that. As valuable as Lancelot's ults are for comboing, he doesn't need a combo right now. Any hit in the Raging Strike will finish it.
Ooh,
oh, what a check!
And Brave 5
straight into SSBA. Insurgent closing it out. Clutch hit confirm at the end there. That's actually a great first match. Is this what we're in for? We're starting off like that? Oh my God.
Versus Rising. If anything, my fingers are crossed.
I am excited for Ladiva presence at CEO. You got to have the wrestling character at CEO, right? Come on. It's an important part of the bit. They're actually messing up playing on Coliseum. This should be on Ladiva's stage. We should have mandated that stage for this whole tournament, in my opinion.
In fact, start the whole bracket over.
Yeah. Run it back.
It's actually all done in error. None of this was real.
All right. So, as we get in here, we're going to see what Gabagol's approach is like.
This is going to be intense, yeah. Because you have to really be methodical about your approach against Matera.
Yeah, the thing is you do need to get in early because you need to get in before she has meter.
Right.
But if you overextend trying to get in early and get hit, you just gave her the meter that you needed her to not have. That is the hardest part of this matchup as Ladiva.
And when we're talking about a player like Monarch here, there's very few opportunities to try to close that gap. I love the headbutt.
Yes, using the headbutt. Look at the meter right now. Yep. Gabagol headbutted. I want to say it gives about 12.5, I think, meter for headbutting a projectile. Already sitting on the ult. Of course, even with ults, Ladiva doesn't have like an armored lariat, despite her ult lariat being very good. But 100 meter already, and she does have a little bit of that projectile invuln on the SBA.
Exactly.
But you can see she does have slightly more recovery on her roll than every other character, and that counter hit punish right there, a product of that recovery.
And another thing to look out for too, the slow walk that Gabagol is doing is a massive meter build as well. So we take our time to build up those resources, but time is running out.
You do still have to actually touch Matera, but this changes the complexion. Her corner carry is fantastic for the trouble she does have getting in. Oh no! I don't know if that was a miss on a combo ender or if that was an attempted frame kill and didn't get the air tech that he was looking for. Unfortunate there, Gabagol right when he got in. A little bit of a whiff, Monarch able to collect the round.
Fishing for a 2-1 pretty early on there at round start. During round start, feels like it's more Matera's favor, especially around that 5 health, 5M range.
Yeah, 5M is a button that I think is maybe a little slept on in Rising, but that button was the Swiss Army knife in vanilla. It anti-airs, it beats roll, It's a good poke. I think that it is still like that, it's just she has so many more powerful tools that it kind of goes under the radar.
Yeah.
Also, she has a fantastic 2M. People don't talk about that button enough. Reaches way further than it seems like it does.
Ask and ye shall receive. The 5L interrupt once more. Monarch just chipped away, taking her time. Massive life lead.
Yeah, and just looking for the
overextend.
SVA. Unfortunate. But this is kind of what the matchup looks like.
Yes.
We're not seeing anything that's unexpected right now. Monarch doing only what he needs to, and that's very important against these explosive characters like Ladiva, because you saw the corner carry when he got tapped. 1-2M connected, and he was immediately in the corner, and got kind of fortunate that Gabagool had a little bit of an error before he could even really play.
All right, so we go into the second game here. Monarch got a pretty solid lead, pretty comfortable pace.
Whoa, yo!
Wait a minute.
And the crouch. 45% already down.
Oh, when you spend as much as you can here, does the damage?
A little bit of a slight drop, but honestly, this is not going to kill, but this is going to be extremely close. We're going to be at the point where a single SPD will kill. So are we going to SPD or are we going to threaten the SPD?
We definitely are.
Yeah. Honestly, I like that. Like, why not? Yes, he's at a disadvantage now, but Gabagool still has plenty of meter. All he has to do is get literally any hit. I think we just got to wait and not let that ult lariat raw rip, because Monarch did already show the presence of mind to dodge and punish.
And the just guards are very important as well, building up some of that meter here. You have all the health in the world. It's a pretty good life lead. You are getting chipped away, but take your time. Don't stress out.
Chip is not a big deal, and this is all we needed. Gabagool putting a round up. That is exactly how he needed to play. Very patient, took advantage of the time in, and again, he only gambled with that SPD when it would have won the round.
Watch that 2M, a little bit too far.
There's
there
that 5M anti-air. It's still such a fantastic far anti-air.
All right, just starting to whittle away at the health of Gabagool, but Monarch building up meter. Ult Butterfly's a threat at this point now as well. Not necessarily going to spend yet. Doesn't need to.
The only thing that's a little spooky right now is Gaba is guessing with roll a little bit instead of trying to look for like a blocked 5H. But this is what Ladiva needs to get start is, Monarch is going to BC out.
Slow walk down as we make the approach.
Ooh, yo, that was very scary for Monarch right there.
The idea was certainly there. Gabagool quite the threat with the ult lariat. Good low punish.
Yeah, I tried to use the light one there. They did a while back significantly reduce the recovery of the light lariat, but if you're awake, it is still punishable.
Oh, what a clash.
Tried to get that. Okay, this actually I think is going to get through, but it wasn't in time to catch the recovery.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fine at this point. You got a round on the board. Yeah, honestly, take a risk. Try to do something. Whatever. Play for the next round. Gaba still in an okay spot here.
All right. Round apiece. Nice. Actually, giving a little space between them. Monarch actually making a solid approach with Rainfall, protected by the butterfly.
And there's that recovery on the dodge, making that low shot a punish rather than just a block stun situation. And again, same thing, right? What you're seeing there, if any other character would have rolled in that situation, they would have been safe. We're going to spend the heavy lariat probably here for the corner. Oh, no. Okay, he found a link into the light to preserve the timer. That's actually pretty important.
Stagger pressure. Trying to bid up these rolls. The stagger.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
A massive lead here for Monarch.
Yeah, you have to BC that. You cannot, if you're Monarch in that situation, you do not want to get coin flip.
All right, lock it down.
Walking for a little bit of meter. Looking for that rain, and Monarch has to be careful with those rains that are not covered by Butterfly, because now we can see this. Is Gaba going to spend a Raging Chain here, maybe? No, okay.
Run up with SPD.
Not quite there.
Up. There
oh, yeah,
it
that's
is.
right. That's actually, okay. Resource management is so important in this game, and when I asked if he was going to spend the Raging Chain to guarantee the corner and a little bit of extra damage, he did not, even though he had about 34 meter at the time, because he built the extra 15 he needed to convert into that ult extension, which is such a big buff for this character who needs to take advantage when she does get in.
Yeah. But a huge turn of events there in favor of Gabagool.
The good thing for Gabagool right now is Monarch has not pulled out a notebook.
Actually, I've seen significantly less notebook from Monarch this year.
I like to talk to players and just kind of get their vibes before the tournament. I did ask him one time, like, are these character notes player notes? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, do any of them just say, like, this player's a master? He's like, some of them. That would be my notebook.
This person,
my notebook
mashes.
Entry for every player is a bum.
Oh, my God.
It would just be like, you got this. Don't worry.
All right, round start, EX headbutt.
Wow, actually able to kind of thread that fireball past the last headbutt. Ooh! If that was an empty jump, that actually would have put Materia into kind of a spooky situation. Yeah, oh, this is going to hurt.
Yeah, with the crumple state, absolutely. Try to extend it a little bit further. Set up
The worst part about that is because the butterfly hits, and it's never like a cancel, Materia always gets 25 back every time that butterfly hits.
Oh, look at this. Just absolute denial from the approach, but finds a single gap to get that lariat through.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's waiting for the recognition of the uncovered rain that you can squeeze a lariat in, but you have to block so much to even get there. Great anti-air. Even without meter, this is going to be very difficult.
Nice.
Monarch on set point.
All right, sitting pretty going in this round.
I have to talk to Monarch about this. We were talking about a song that I thought was a BlazBlue song when I heard it in this game, and I didn't know the name of it, and this is the song.
It kind of sounds BlazBlue, yeah. Oh, no.
Look at the meter. Gabagool just headbutted 2 projectiles, gained like 50 meter.
Hard to wait, yeah.
Didn't trigger the butterfly, though. That was very fortunate.
I got a little ahead of it there. On the headbutt, the
Wow!
right through.
And
What
the
a
sweep.
gamble.
Great jump out, but no punish. And yeah, I like that. Forces Monarch to BC. And you would say, hey, that's not a hit. There's no combo. Trust me, Monarch was forced to BC after blocking that ult area.
Yeah.
You cannot hold that mix up as Materia here.
Oh, Max
Okay.
up to him, but we do get the ult lariat. Nice extend to the corner.
Gabo with a lot of meter here. Any touch will probably finish this round. And he, went for the 5U jump scare. That would have finished the round if it landed. No air unblockable, too far away from it. Ooh, yo! No crystals? This legit might be dead. Low health character, no crystals. What do you think?
This
Are we
is the
getting it?
Gabagool special.
I'm
This is
biting.
Gabagool special here. Hold on.
I bet this is
done.
it.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
does it! The 3 count. Gabagool staying in this match. As much as Monarch is my favorite fighting game player of all time, that was hype. I got to give it up.
Gabagool, 1 in a million.
Look at the change from Monarch, though. The
Yeah.
aggression at the start of the round. He didn't fold back and start throwing fireballs. He didn't round start dash light. Yeah, Monarch, this is what I love. He has not played this aggressive. He's not even hinted that he can play this aggressive this entire set, and he's going in.
Oh, there's a 2U reversal dome. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, that's within range.
That is going to reach. And right now, this is so dangerous for Monarch. 1 crystal, this is a 1 mix-up game. Now 1 more mix-up game. Monarch has to make something happen. And he's
my goodness!
And Gabagool with the upset of the entire tour. Look at the Ladiva army popping off. Wow. I cannot believe we have an upset like this so early in this second round of pools. I hope you are all entertained.
If you need any proof that tier lists are just
who I've seen Niantic play are Shoto adjacent characters. We've seen the Sandalphon, we've seen the Jito, we see the Beatrix. I think Sandalphon is the most stable of those characters. I think arguably Beatrix is the strongest.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
You know, but I do think Sandalphon, especially against a character like Ferry, is someone that you need stability and you need flexibility.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, especially with Sandalphon having the traditional Shoto toolkit. Does have a strong lariat, right? Does have a great coast-to-coast corner carry combo routing that can help him out close the gap, especially with punishing Ferry.
Yeah, whip punishing into 2-1-4U, and a great old fireball as well. But what are we going to see? And just showing the jump early on, I like it. And especially with the JU, that's pretty hard to anti-air. Well, look at the movement. He backdashed to bring the camera with, so GG would come further, and then did a micro dash into a forward jump to clear GG. That was...
Oh, JU get devoured here.
Yeah, B-Paw's awake.
All right, stagger with the lights. This is the thing. B-Paw is so persistent at just whittling away off these lights, not being overcommittal, and then just exploding as you see here.
And he plays in a way that frustrates a lot of players because, like you said, it's just needling at you a tiny bit. And I like that, right? He did a -9 move, but he just did it again because he knew that Niantic would have to give up his plus frames to run forward.
Yep.
Great anti-air again. This is the hardest part about playing Ferry. As strong as Ferry is, and I think even Ferry players are not going to deny. Oh no, he didn't get a cancel.
Yeah.
He might have tried to buffer something and it came out the wrong direction.
Maybe BC out. I would certainly like to think that he didn't just believe he had enough of a
Yeah, okay.
The JL, yeah, no one's ready to block that.
Yeah. Beepaw, got a little spooky there for a second.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it is easy to get ran back on in this game when the other person has full resources. That's why you really got to think about like what you're investing. Are you spending your SDA? Are you spending crystals when the other person is fully loaded without finishing them off? Tried for the whip punish. Yeah, a little bit. The no handshake. Hits the hard route. Yeah, good stuff. Niantic showing off the water. We have not actually seen the water, even though it is better. You know, they did give some added utility to the non-fire stance. When Sandalphon first came out, fire was just so good compared to every other stance that there was just very little reason to use it.
Even then, we were mostly focused on just staying light. You got enough damage benefit out of staying in light form that, yeah, you got a boost out of fire, but the risk wasn't necessarily worth the reward. But water is a great tool because you get the throw combos, the slow advancing fireball to close the gap, which will certainly interrupt a lot of what Ferry's got going on, except for the
great
slow.
2M, yeah. Unfortunately, as good as his ult fireball is, it is a pretty normal fireball, and Ferry 2M, it just beats those. Gotta hold that. Oh, yeah, tried to BC very late. Chip is an issue for Beepaw right now, and yeah, just let the 214H rip. I will say, you did mention the strength of the Lariat. It is a very good Lariat. It's very fast. It has good priority. However, it is a little stubby compared to most of the other shuttle characters having their advancing 214s.
Right,
and again, yeah, so this is showing me that was not like specifically for corner Oki. Niantic seems to believe in water.
I would too. It's a really, I feel,
I'm not going to lie, I'm still a fire guy just because I like the stable stuff, you know.
I like light over all the elements for sure in Sandalphon, but water is such a great mixed opportunity though. Right, nice launcher. Actually should be able to finish.
Plenty of damage. Would have had super on deck, and Niantic taking game one here. Pretty closely fought.
All right.
Both players taking a moment. I think that was so tightly contested that neither of them are really in a hurry to get back in.
And honestly, I know Beepaw certainly chomping at the bit. It was the battle of the big three, the 180s, as I like to call it, the last event at Boston Blue Beat, right? Where now we're trying to see if Beepaw can rise to the ranks here, sitting at around 19.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, while there are 3 North Americans in the top 8 qualifying spots right now, I believe it was Hava, Monarch, and might have been Zane was the other. It was either Zane or Riazo.
Riazo.
Yeah. Again, early start for Niantic. Keeping things stable, easy stagger pressure here. Spends a little for the plus frames. Gotta watch out for ults if you're Beepaw right now.
Watch it, nice roll.
Yeah, great dodge, and being ready to anti-air. I do, oh yeah, we're gonna get the unblockable, and he gets the side switch with the 6XM.
Watch it, maximum range. Ooh, while rising. JL off the wall.
Yo!
That's a full combo, baby.
I know that Marvin plays Pocket Kags, but he's stealing a little too much from it.
Now, wait a minute. She was at least built to have this machine. All right, GG sent out.
Oh yeah, just enough hit stun in order to get GG off there.
Dash light, push back to the corner, still chipped away. Nice back down. Great call from Niantic.
What a read. That was still so dangerous, but correct about it being a throw.
Fireball, push back. Great patience from Niantic, but still Beepaw going to steal back that turn.
I also like Beepaw using the 2-1-4 to cancel there because it does create a little bit of a frame trap. There's just enough gap to like maybe catch a delay. Yo, and the delay 5L. But mistimed the 2-1-4 you. Whoa, what a clutch roll. I think that roll was looking for the overhead, but it just kind of worked out. And we had, okay, this is actually, you know, it's not going to affect play because it happened there. Somebody had a desync.
That's a green light on Beepaw's controller. Yep.
Yeah, Beepaw's controller had a little bit of desync. It did happen during cinematic at the end of a round, so it's not going to affect anything here.
gotta get off this micro USB. I'm telling you, bro.
Big check, yeah, holding his ground with the 5M. Got to be careful running at this guy. He has very good normals.
All right, tries to go for side swap. Great BC, go from the Niantic.
Beepaw, a lot of meter to work with, but not a lot of life.
All right, lights. So going to stagger away, chip out. Just a bit.
Yeah, gave up the space with the backdash.
Back again, but the ultimate going to slow down the recovery there.
Oh, and
Then
just
the
caught
stagger
him.
light.
Yeah. It was a very late dash, and I think Beepaw thought that the commitment to the dash was too late and that he would be able to get away with mash and 5L and wake up, and caught pressing. Niantic converts, able to close it out. Great solid play from Niantic.
Is it Matera or?
I think it's one of the Dragonites still, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I think so. It's like, wow, aren't you a good dog? He goes, rough. Like, okay.
But we are, in fact, going to see the Ferry. No surprises here. For my money, two of the strongest characters in this version right now. I think Ferry is a little more unanimous on the strength, but people are coming around on Eustace. We did not see a lot of... We would see Eustace representation, but the Eustace representation was like Twitter clip farmers. Shout out to my boy Spiral, combo god. But Insurgent is here to sweat on this character, not to do cool stuff.
I feel like Insurgent's dominant run last year where they went, I think it was something 3 months straight not losing a tournament.
Yeah.
That really was like, hey, wait a minute, this character might be
really,
good.
and also just really established not just the character, but Insurgent as a legitimate top North American player.
Yeah. Right.
Nice,
Slow
backs
kill.
off. Yeah, just give up the space. That should be a punish. No, yeah, that was just above the punishable height.
All right, locked in. BC out.
I think if you're Lewis Ferdinand there, that makes sense to let that DP rip because you might have been punished anyways. Woo, okay. Yeah, looking for a DP that was just too high to combo from. Are we going to just see a raw ball here just to like get that? We might see a ball super just to get the crystal back.
Yeah, that would make sense. Putting your resources, you can control the neutral that way. But this rat race denies so much.
But we are going to get the side switch here probably? Or are we just going to take the knockdown? Ooh. Yeah, we're going to take the knockdown into Oki. What's the mix? Good block on the overhead. Lewis Ferdinand committed pretty hard. He's out of crystals. He's almost out of life. He's going to have to find a big hit, and there it is. With the one Brave Point available to Insurgent. A little bit of extra damage on that, able to close it out.
Let's go with this next round. We're just still firing away, Flamex Thunder, but once you get within that range, the medium and heavy, right, you got to be cautious. All right, slow kill, push it back.
It's actually a good trade for Ferry there through the slow kill, so it made it so that Insurgent wasn't really able to capitalize immediately. No, just kind of stay up there.
Yeah.
This is my airspace.
Please don't corner me.
This time we take the side switch.
Right, supplied here. Keep it safe.
Great poke. This 2M, and while it does low profile projectiles, it doesn't do it right away. Like you actually have to like call it out a little bit. And a great punish. That is the correct punish for the ult Flamek. You want to dodge or roll the first section and then roll the second one.
All right, locked in once more. All right.
Oh, trying to check with 2L and relatable problems. Ferry actually has a nearly identical 2L to Catalina. You can't really do that delay 1L game that other characters do. You got to commit to a 2M or a sweep.
Yep. An extended range would certainly be helpful. Woo. Swat denies a couple Flamek Thunders.
Yeah, 2L only reaches that far if it's PP Man doing it. Shout out to PP Man, one of my favorite berries to play.
That's the extended normals. Backing off.
And again,
interrupts.
Like, that's fine. If you're Lewis Ferdinand here, that trade, just keeping him pinned down in the corner.
Nice.
Great placement.
Yeah. Avoiding that bomb. Coming from Rat Race once more. 5L backing off.
Yeah, caught backdashing on wake up and then immediately backdash again. Didn't pay for it. Perfect timing. Yeah, that's a pretty hard move to dodge, especially when you're looking out for ult Flamek.
GG goes out.
Great,
yes.
Yeah, that very important for Ferry. Manipulate the camera. You never want to move forward until GG gets to them, or else you give them space to get away from GG. So you saw that walk back in order to kind of keep the camera with them.
Spatial awareness, though. BC back. Once more GG comes out.
Very tightly contested round right now.
All right, 2 break points down. massive opportunity for Louis Ferdinand if we can get the connection.
And again, coming up on 100 meter here, are we just going to see like, oh no, he's going to spend it. Yeah, good timing on the BC. You want to wait till that gets about halfway through to BC to get the counter hit. Oh, that was such a clutch counter hit. He doesn't have the meter for Raging Chain, which is a bit of an issue. Yes.
Still spend it. Pretty close. 12 seconds left. Actually, just block this out. Just deny.
Yes, but that's so hard, right? You have to hold your ground as well. And uses the 5H to do it. All right, Louis Ferdinand taking that game one. A little bit of frustration on the face of Insurgent.
Oh, yeah.
But again, going back to character select to breathe. And for someone his age, honestly, I don't want to sound too boomery here, but that is experienced fighting game player stuff right there.
Yes.
Take a moment to breathe. You don't think about it. Nerd Josh gave me some of the best advice I've ever gotten from a veteran player, that you need to remember to breathe. You need to focus on your breathing, because in the tense situations, you won't notice until you're out of air that you are holding your breath. It's just like a subconscious thing that you do. When things get tight, you start holding your breath and you don't really think about it until all of a sudden you have to exhale really hard and then you get hit.
All right, well, Insurgent, the calculated player that he is, taking a moment to think through this next fight.
And again there, you can see that he moved forward this time and it allowed Insurgent to just kind of get out of the GG.
Yep. Nice little kill to push back, but what a challenge go for Louis Ferdinand.
Gonna take the pop for the knockdown into the Oki. Yeah, try to get some of that meter back with the 5U. I like it. Even if you are in meter penalty, you're still going to get like 6 or 7 out of it. Oh, and the punish?
Yeah, outside the range of that BC. So Insurgent going to take advantage of it. Super inbound.
I think he gets a little bit of extra damage from that explosion as well. No bite this time.
Yeah.
Good defense here so far, but again, yeah. No crystals here. If he can survive this interaction, yeah, I like forcing the issue right now. You got to build that 50 meter for the 2M and the 2M for you, though. And unfortunately, the frame trap with the grenade is going to close out that round. Insurgent trying to get on the board here.
Watch below, good spot dodge. Tries to navigate through the Flamek Thunder.
These are the things that are so difficult on Ferry that he's doing so well. Choosing the correct dive kick for the correct angle. Choosing the correct anti-air for the correct angle. I'm not going to like downplay Ferry. I think this character is busted. However, this is the hardest top tier to play for sure.
All right, push back out of that corner again. Still locking things down. This GG giving no recourse for Insurgent right now.
Ton of meter. Are we going to see like an ult GG just to buy some plus frames?
Oh my goodness, nice thunder.
Oh, the active frames! That was so active. Louis Ferdinand thought that he had actually waited out the move and stepped forward to try to punish, and it was still active.
All right, no, ooh.
Oh, yeah, fell for it this
the
time.
heavy will call out the raging strike attempt. We still have super. This is the game.
And even though a lot of characters, Eustace being one of them, do have sort of fancier throw baits, especially when the grenade is on, the value of backdash as a throw bait, even though it's more of a generic universal thing, if you do it at the correct time, you can punish both with throw tech and an attempt at brave countering that comes out as Raging Strike.
Right.
Of course, if you're a little bit late, you get hit by the Raging Strike and everybody laughs and, you know, you cry a little bit.
But an attempt was made. So
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And again, walking backwards, Insurgent just at the right spacing to get out of that.
Big jump with the JM.
Yeah, big both in terms of the flow of the match and also just the physical size of that button.
Okay, nice. With the late tech, still going to get a little bit of damage.
That is plus, yeah. You either need to, if you block the heavy whip from Ferry, you either need to hold what comes next or you need to press 5L buffered into something.
Nice, got the super. Able to connect, good little knockdown.
Mix for the game. There's the overhead. Should be the round here. Easy peasy.
Dog. All right, nail biter of a set as Louis Ferdinand takes the lead here.
Battle 2. Engage.
It's actually one of the first times that Louis Ferdinand has not found the needle thread dive kick there.
Right. Jeez, so nice avoiding that.
And the counter hit. And you can see Insurgent is trying to find a way to deal with this, but you have to maybe try to 5H. You have to find something that hits at the correct angle and maybe has enough priority to just crush the dive kick, but it's pretty hard to do on reaction.
So heavy stagger in with the medium. All right, or ponder upon thee as we hold down to this corner position. The JL, but does he?
The double mix,
Oh my
and he
God.
gets the pickup. Oh, unfortunate drop there, but Insurgent running out of life, running out of crystals, has a good amount of meter available, but he's going to have to make at least 3 correct decisions here, and he does not have really the ability to Brave counter. I mean, he maybe can, but giving away the last crystal when you might need Raging Chain here just to get the corner carry is a very dangerous proposition, but this life is running out. Collecting
still
more
whittling
chip.
away, absolutely. Good spot dodge once more. Just missed the max range to challenge that rat race.
I
Low.
love him not doing the dive kick over the red grenade that time. Even though he's shown it so many times, he's playing so conservative. That's going to unblockable, and that is going to close it out. Insurgent moving down to top 48 losers, and yeah, you can see the feeling of fighting Ferry on his face. It's, not with 2B, funny enough, but but you know, we're trying to still see that big breakout, and the same could say the same for Vermilion. Vermilion has had fantastic showings at things like Slashback, but just not that like bust out, you know, top 2, top 3, top 1 at a CEO. So we'll see if either of these characters are like really able to get over that hill.
Jeez, back special to start things off here.
Yeah, I like that. It will reach, it'll be safe, and also it keeps Incendiate from being able to call bros right away.
Gauntlet series here to rebuild a little bit of that skill gauge off the sequence. Just a smidge of that, but staggering. Nice, open up with medium series. Just going to ground bounce a bit there. Just going to take it any further.
And this is the hard part about getting out of the corner against 2B. It's not even the frames or anything like that. It's the sheer number of moves. Most of the attacks that she can do will have some sort of available counterplay, but she has like 40 moves that you have to look out for, and you can only really key on 1 or 2 to react to.
Yeah. They can't, I mean, just forget to mention the forward advancing of her normals as well.
Yes.
That's kind of like a bane of a lot of players' existence in this matchup. Gives her at a very threatening range. Plus her 5U interactions, being able to parry out a lot of the OP scenarios. Yeah.
It's very, very tough. If they are willing to commit to it, it's pretty tough to successfully get mid-screen Oki off Saw knockdown against this character. Throwing again. Looking for the stagger. No bite for Incendia, but gets opened up, and this will close out the round. 2 pretty commanding wins in a row here for Vermilion. I think this is going to be just shy, actually. This is the drawback.
Yeah.
For as strong as this character is, she is not the highest damage character.
I think we could have gotten 1 more cycle. We had enough skill gauge, I believe, for it to
Yeah,
last
but,
that long.
you know, you just... I like it. You know, get the crystal out. However, spending your SPA and not finishing the job, and then the other person has 100 meter, they have 2 crystals. Spooky, right?
Yeah,
it's happened to
yeah.
all of us. If you are telling me that you have not gotten run back on a round that you were up by 95% because you forgot that they had a Brave counter, a SSBA, and a Dream, you're a liar. You're just a liar. You haven't played the game.
But I've been doing so well, and then suddenly...
All right, so
That
let's
exploded.
see if Incendia, I mean, honestly, Incendia didn't even really get to play much of that first game.
No.
We are going to have to see, we might see like a backdash round start here to try to look to beat out that Lariat. Yeah, immediately bailing out. But again, you can see the powerful
medium.
zoning of 2B, actually. Something that Lil Wayne is kind of known for. Great spacing.
Stagger to the medium. 2M is the opener. Not close to fall through.
Okay.
What a dash light.
You need to.
Yeah.
Oh, and he waited and pushed that button so late. But also a great delay, and the missiles are able to get the punish.
After the launch. Oh, nice toss. Caught you looking at the Samuel
Yeah,
Tony.
HBA is about available. He did spend that Raging Strike with no real, finish for it. So we might see an HBA here just to kind of get the crystal back.
Back special, too well to extend. Nice pop B to keep you locked in the position.
I think he's looking to find a hit into 2 and for you instead of spending HBA here.
Oh,
But he's starting to run out of life.
BC
Good
away.
timing, yeah, able to find the counter hit.
Can't believe it, the JH actually didn't connect at all.
No skill available here. Yeah, if you're going to do something, you got to do something now. Going to try to just maybe get some chip on the board. Keep in mind, if lava hits, then the last crystal is gone. Even with just the one crystal here, the chip is adding up. And Vermilion tried to jump away, caught by the bottom of the orb, and Incendiate, great patience just to find a spot. Because remember, Yggdrasil is not invuln on startup, only HPA is, so you really have to find a gap to let that move rip.
All right, combination strikes here for Vermilion to carry to the corner with the Crown of Thorns. The swing series of the Gauntlet Strike.
A lot of skill available. We haven't seen a lot of 2-2L out of Vermilion yet. He has been using the crown there, which means that he cannot use other special moves while it's out. What a jump! That should close out this round. Even with the low damage, she should route into SVA here.
That'll do. That will do.
All right, and send it. If he wants to stay in winner's side, he's got to make it happen right now. I'm not going to lie. I was a hater, but Lil theme is, it's been growing on me.
Lil Wayne's theme?
Yeah, in vanilla, I was like, get this out of my ears.
I know I'm in for a bonkers time every time I hear this.
Yeah,
theme.
that's true. It is. This is like the yakety sax of modern games.
Oh, nice parry.
Looking for the BC. Good delay there by Vermilion.
Oh, the crowd dash. Oh, excuse me. It's a regular light. It's 2B we're talking about. Got the wire to carry it for corner screen. Nice toss.
That little stagger. That's how you know Vermilion is a little bit on the older side, because we all do that little wiggle before the grab.
Oh. Yeah, didn't believe. Keep swinging maximum range on the
Great
medium.
dash light,
Great
yeah.
dash light.
But greater 5H. Are we going to spend another? Yeah, actually didn't have the skill to do another ult, so he had to kind of Raging Chain to extend there. What a mash! Gonna get the side switch here.
Oh.
One mix.
Here.
And the mash!
My goodness!
The 5L. I think he might have been going for like the jump throw bait mix.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was kind of crouched. It can be kind of hard. Belial is a better character. However, the spaces that Belial is like an A+ character in, Catalina is still an A character in. Just because he is very good in certain ranges does not make her less good.
Exactly.
And he has to be respectful of her buttons.
I feel like that's so much of the cast against Catalina specifically. She is like the true like.
She's the
neutral,
punish.
but she's,
Not just neutral,
yeah.
she is the punish character.
Yes.
Her buttons do not reach the furthest. They are not the fastest, but they are the greatest intersection of startup and range.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be so careful with your -6 and -7 moves compared to fighting other characters, both because of just the ability to punish and also the rewards.
Oh, stagger pressure here.
Yeah, keeping it safe.
Back to the far
That was
medium.
something that actually changes matchup a lot. When they flipped which move was -6 between the 214H and the 214L, you can see there that 214H was actually pretty punishable, but 214L, now that it's safe, there's not a lot that keeps Belial from just doing sweep into 214L over and over and over against Cat. She can't do a lot about it.
Oh, missed that. Asmodeus though, not going to connect
Yeah, I like showing that sweep, but runs into the fireball. Are we going to do the hard stuff now? I like that. Good choice here from Kirby. Keep it basic. You didn't need to do like the fancy high hit,
Oh,
you know,
no.
214 juggles.
And that's the beautiful thing about Belial. His B&Bs are relatively unchanged throughout the history of Granblue. Oh,
Gets the 214M to the corner carry, doesn't spend anything.
late tag. Damage here.
Oh,
Base
didn't
trainer.
get a dash cancel, and yeah, you have to forward, front step or back step cancel that, or it is mad punishable. It's like -14 counter hit state.
BC back at you here. Stagger pressure to throw. Nice close medium, but what
What's
a
the
DP.
look? Yeah, and because of the way that DP hits early, it is actually very good against Belial 2M.
Oh, yeah. All right, holds onto it here. Nice attack.
Oh, just lets the 5H trip, and I love this. I was talking to Awesome, the Anila player playing casuals earlier. I fuzzy mashed with 5H, and he was like, did you just press 5H? And I'm like, okay, listen to me on this. If Catalina is correct on a defensive 5H and counter hits your overly delayed stagger, you lose. So.
All right, nice with the 2M. Pulls it back in with the heavy pinwheel.
Yeah, no counter hit, so not going to get the link there. Still pinned down in the corner. Yeah, unfortunately, that JU, if you want to press JU early to beat anti-airs, the trade-off is that you're probably going to be somewhere between, like, maybe +1 at best. Oh, didn't have to cancel to the fireball, though.
Yeah.
Bit of a mistake from Kirbio here.
Had the auto shimmy earned, but unfortunately not going to work out. Coast to coast we go.
Good check. Yeah, I like the 5M there. That's a fantastic button for Belial in that situation. And then a 2-1-4. Yeah. I ended up doing the fireball. Also could have done like HHH 2-1-4 there. Kirbio taking game 1. Ace Trainer Raph. Looks like we're going back to character select. What is on the menu? Okay, just taking a moment to breathe. Straight back to the cat.
Look,
no, I'm getting mixed. Never. Bro.
What are we doing?
Bro? You're sending me mixed signals here.
This Ace Trainer has 6 Pokemon in the pocket. It only gets to throw out
Yeah.
one. Revive use on Catalina. Let's go.
They did that in the story as well.
Oh my
yeah. That is actually what happens, so. As a Ragna player too, I'm like, why do all my mains die?
Believe in victory.
Dang it. We got Callista with the spoilers in the chat, y'all.
Bro, that's like a 10-year-old arc at this point. Come on.
Hey.
I don't even play the game, and I know that.
Listen, I've been dark on a lot of 10-year-old stories, okay? So leave me alone. All right, Dash M.
Yeah, Dash M, slightly plus on block. Very unique dash normals, actually, for Belial. I think he has one of the best kits of dash normals, with 2 of the 3 of them being kind of non-standard.
Yeah. Throw. Nice. Ult DP to get out of dodge. We're going to throw this time. It's in the hands of Ace Trainer.
Great stagger. What do we have for the route here? Should be able to close it out. Yeah, jab, jab, jab. Raging strike. Button, button, super. Call it a day. Kirbio moving on to match point here.
Good rounds. Kirbio taking charge here. Much more dominant round here. Maintain that corner position as we get to this next one, though. Ace Trainer needs to find their footing in this matchup here, which is kind of tricky, again, just the way that Kirbio has been approaching a lot of this neutral. All right, denying that space with fireballs. Great play off the wall to extend the combo.
Oh. Yeah, chose to go with the medium DP there, and that's actually an ender I don't like in that situation, because while she can get a safe jab there, the extra height makes it a bit harder to time.
Ooh,
oh, great whip punish, yes.
Oh, again, that shimmy very quick.
I don't think this is quite going to finish. I don't think we're going to get the meter here. Yeah.
Whoa!
And again, the backdash bait. Putting Ace Trainer Raph.
There's a side qualifier here. Or at least a step away from it, if I'm not mistaken.
Gonna let the intros rock?
Oh no, what's she upset about now? She's the type of individual that would use a punching bag because she's upset. She doesn't want to talk about why she's upset.
Vasaraga's like, yo, you know a good burger spot? He doesn't mind. He's trying to work, man. He's on his lunch break. He's not trying to do all this fighting. Nice check. Yep. Easy confirm. Should get the wall bounce here. Kind of a high wall bounce. Yeah, had to wait just a little bit to make it so it wasn't a weird combo.
Oh, the neutral jump. Calls out the raging strike.
I like this. Yeah. You could have done a super, reset the timers, but didn't really need to get into install. And now we have the ults available.
You did not. You did not just walk up 5L Zoma. Your aura is too strong. You
Quick
opened
work
up
by
the opponent
Zoma.
by just simply walking up.
Walking is terrifying to people in this game. How do you think I win matches?
That's true. That's true. Okay, I guess. Very bold of you to say, Callisto. Nice slow.
Yeah, and that stance sweep, that M follow-up, became safe at pretty much every range now, so it's much better to throw out just to get started, try to get a knockdown. Ooh, you can see there, you see how quickly the timer filled. That was the medium DP. It's not enough hits. Zoma needed to use the heavy there in order to break that armor.
Nice, going to wrap this up, I believe. Siegfried at this life point, you may as well. Bingo.
Yeah, just as quickly as the first round, back in the other direction. Abu Dhabi evening the round count here.
Battle 3.
All right, that's a Thinkum space coming from Vaseraga here. All right, stands up here with the Soul Forge. All right. Battalion of Fury able to make that approach.
A little bit of the okey doke, whipping the light follow up there. Very low recovery on that move.
Nice call at the end.
I actually like these buffers into 214 out of Zoma. Definitely a nearly impossible move to punish for Vaseraga.
Ooh. That's a big opportunity
that's
here
a-
for Abi.
Big old chunk of damage stocked up. Soul Forge timer refresh. This should close the round. All right, despite the quick start for Zoma, Vaseraga right now in this version of the game, definitely one of those guys.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of movement, no buttons at the start of the round for both players.
It's terrifying, though. You're up against Vaseraga, and look, if you like mystery neutral, Vira still has excellent buttons as well. All right, good launch.
Yeah, unfortunately against Vaseraga, sometimes you need a little bit more than buttons.
Off the wall we go. Plenty of resources. Abi Dhabi making quick work at this round
Rare
so far.
sighting of Vaseraga Skybound art. The utility from the ult's usually so strong for this character that we don't actually see his supers very often.
Exactly. Distinction here. Low swipe. Oh,
Yeah,
threatening
and the chip as well from that.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
One
it's going to be
special.
so hard to avoid chip, yeah.
That would have been an insane turn of events.
He
if Zoma could've picked
maybe
that up.
could have done like empty jump into heavy DP to break the armor there, but that, you know, I'm not going to be like, yeah, just roll up empty jump DP.
Why don't you run into Savage Rampage and try to throw Vaseraga? Go for it. Oh, watch the stagger. Nice.
Great dash light. Another move that you just don't see a ton out of this character because that's just not how he operates very
Exactly.
often.
All right,
Oh,
installed
Abu
up.
Dhabi looking for the BC bait.
It really is.
Good
Watch
patience
it.
by Zoma, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Oh, wow.
All right.
Bit of a
Chances
drop
make
here.
champions here.
Oh, and again the dash light. Not the character you're expecting to come at you like that, but
Yeah.
when you already have them in the corner and they can't control their spacing,
Yeah.
and you were just looking to get into install as fast as possible, and then things kind of scaled back the other way where you're looking to play in base form a little bit more in early rising to try to either find an SBA or just take advantage of Oki situations.
right.
And now we're kind of back into ways where you can turn so many punishes and counter pokes into install that we're back into playing for install.
And then with Lancelot, it's kind of exhausting, I would like to think, with the transformation because you're not going to be having an easy time trying to lock down Vira. She's going to be zipping around the screen. Turbulence isn't as effective. You could use fireball pressure, but it's not going to be as effective.
And you don't have the advantage of mobility that you would normally have
Yes.
against Vira. And we're going to see this now. Kilvenz, not even looking to hold it.
don't even
Not
worry
even
about
looking to hold it. Let's reset that
There it
neutral.
is.
And right now you can see Lancelot's big advantage was the mobility, and now they're both just zip-zooping around.
Not close enough for the wall splat here. Waits for BC. This is a player knowledge thing.
Yeah.
So we know that Char is just antsy to press that BC to maintain their offense. Kilvenz giving a little bit too much respect on it, I think.
I'm going to see if there's more air approaches for Kilvenz. What you saw earlier with 5U anti-airing for Vira, that was not a fluke. That button is a very good anti-air. This is actually dead. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's something that I actually think is unspoken about Vira, about her strengths. She has actually very good anti-airs.
Yeah.
You might not think so because her 2H is a little on the middling side,
yeah.
but both of her stand H's are very good anti-airs.
Exactly.
She has quality DPs for it, and then once she gets into install, that 5U
Woof.
is also great.
There it is, that standing 5H anti-air. Plenty of damage opportunity. Goes for the install. Kilvenz wanted the BC.
Oh, that's
no.
hella dead. GG's, next game.
And that's the thing. This is a Lancelot's nightmare. A player that cannot be conditioned, that does not show fear. Someone who is willing to press in those gaps that Lancelot is bound to give. You have to be airtight on your offense.
And actually, with the 14K health nerf for Lancelot. This is something that actually happens to him very often. Lancelot has that mobility to be zipping around and create all these scrambles and mix-up situations. However, when you see Lancelot get hit, it is almost always with some form of counter hit heavy normal.
Yes.
I have seen that character get 2H or 5H just into doom so many times.
Callisto, that's why I dropped the character. I couldn't stand it. North America is too much of a pressing community. I can't deal with it.
Another early start here for Char. Gets it again. Going to build a good chunk of meter here. Doesn't even spend the heavy. Yeah, just looking to catch a delay press. I like that. Keep the momentum. He is 3 for 3 on 5 U's. Ooh. This time, though, kill with a very clutch dodge. Yeah, recognize, though, that Lumi was still on top of him, so he had to go straight into the DP. Got to watch out for the sweep right now. That's the big thing. In install, sweep becomes such a scary counter poke.
Conversion, expecting a BC there with that spot dodge. On throw.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
That should do it. Yep. Just like that. Char on match point.
Yo, looking clean right now, Char.
And this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, he's doing things that from the outside seem hyper aggressive, but he's ready for what if they hit. Look at this right now. And we are straight back into the same corner situation. Are we going to have another setup for a command grab?
Watch it. A little bit too far away on this one.
Went for the spinner, so he went for actually the 4H spinner, so he wasn't able to combo off of that.
Ooh, big heavy sling.
Char is out of crystals. If he gets touched right now. Hey!
Oh my god!
That is a tough super to punish, but if you're kill, like, I'm sorry, you have to make that punish.
And Char with the
unfortunate
clean call out here.
Yeah.
Off the soup. That was nuts. And takes one step closer to making a return to a CEO
And you saw
top.
kind of a weird matchup. Ostensibly, Eustace is also a very good zoner. Mm-hmm. The only character in the game whose projectiles are not affected by spot dodging. If you spot dodge or roll Flemic, the timer is always the same.
Yeah.
So compared to Matera, where if you dodge one of her projectiles, she has to wait a little bit longer for that projectile to clear the entire map before her cooldown starts coming back. Of course, there is the offset that she just has another fireball that she could use, but that is something that may come into play here and there as these two are sort of jockeying back and forth with their zoning to try to get an advantage established. I'm sorry, she's not about the life like that. That's why I respect Belial. Belial is about the life. She's just fishing here. Don't fall for it, Don Quavius. Stay strong, bro.
That's right. Stand strong.
Yeah, we're not donating here. Ooh, I don't know if that was supposed to be heavy butterflies. That might have been 2H. That was kind of spooky.
Unfortunately, not going to get called out for it. Well, maximum range here.
Yeah, both of these characters with the seemingly infinite block strings once they have you in this position. Again, looking like a little bit of a misinput from Monarch.
But Monarch tends to clean those up as well. Like as the match goes up, it's a happy accident for Monarch.
That could be attributed to, the extra pressure that's currently on him from unexpectedly being in losers at this point.
I mean, look at this life lead off a chip alone. Not a significant combo in sight yet. Go push back to the corner. Don Quavius turn to apply pressure here. Not gonna.
And look how similar this looked to the other corner.
Oh my goodness! You just blocked. There it is.
What
the
a
5L.
challenge! Doesn't have another raging chain available. This is gonna be kind of hard to close. Yeah.
Butterfly closing in. Nice, getting away from it. Actually, pretty crucial.
Don Quavius advantage in everything other than health, and unfortunately, that's what he needed to survive that.
Going in this next round. Good spot. Oh, not close enough here for Mech Thunder taking advantage.
And there's that 5M again.
Ooh.
Yeah, really heads up play there. Using the extra hits of the heavy fireball to not only cancel out the blue grenade, but also force Don Quavius to dodge and give up frames.
Yes. Mech Thunder, good spot again, but gonna get
great conversion, yeah. Wasn't quite close enough to get more than the 5L. I also like that he didn't invest the Raging Chain there.
Yeah.
He still has to kind of hold on to resources a little bit longer in this round.
Right, blasting away still. Good spots once more.
The dodges are so consistent.
Oh. I got a little bit of a roll of the 5L. Again, spot dodging
Unfortunately,
away,
a little
early.
too consistent on the dodge, yeah.
Sager blocks the BC, takes our turn back. Shimmy, and Monarch notorious for not falling for shimmies, I promise you.
Again, very low health. Even though, oh, that was big. But because he was out of the range for the slowdown, never mind, he built SSBA. DonQuavis is going to get the round up. Yep.
You know, remember the era when that used to miss? And it was, oh, it's on Insurgent side.
Or it would like hit and not get animation, even though it was really close.
Yeah, I still get jump scared by it every time. Like, oh God, like, is it gonna work?
Yeah, it gives me false hope. You know, like it hits me, I'm like, I'm good, this might miss.
Like, oh, wait a minute, he's consistent.
Good
He just
timing on the
needed
brave
zero
counter.
in the rifle, that's what it was.
Monarch, you see a lot of when Monarch's trying to control the spacing here, he is committing to a lot of micro dashes, which in turn, because he's not walking, he's not really building any meter.
Yeah.
Oh, and baited on the DP.
What a call out here. DonQuavis.
Not going to be able to kill just yet. Yeah, going to probably use some ults for a knockdown. What a challenge. But again, all he got out of that was a little bit of space.
But also good recognition of the missed time of the meaty 6XL.
Oh, that was so close.
God.
And unexpectedly, Monarch staring at one game away from elimination in top 96. I believe we're only in top 48 right now, maybe top 32.
All right, push back. Into the corner though, DonQuavis needs to navigate out of this. Rat race, yeah, a little bit too early, but I mean the layering here to get you called out for that spot dodge.
At the same time, Monarch is actually playing very conservative right now, and something that is leading to is he's not getting a ton off of his hits. He's resetting his patterns, but he's not getting the KO.
Right.
And again, yeah, just a little early on that old fireball.
Sniped out. Spot dodge, the close combat, not going to get the open.
Ooh, boy.
That was fortunate it was ult.
Yeah,
If it wasn't
the rat race low was so close to connecting
Yeah.
for Monarch. The fact that he was able to block that in time, and you can see he didn't even attempt to punish. He was just like, thank God that got blocked.
Oh, nice with the
Great
slow kill pickup.
pickup.
Rat race once more. Ooh, late tech. Still going to take the turn. BC away is Monarch. Ooh. All right, clash to the fireball.
Oh, no.
Slide into the DMs.
This is going to hurt. I would just spend it because it's going to create one crystal on Monarch's side. He doesn't even have 50 yet. He's going to end up probably at like 45 after the super. Only 41. Yeah, he is a long way from being able to play, and he is not going to get the opportunity.
Callisto, this is insane.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. Like, this is, again,
Monarch
I'm the Monarch Glazer. This
Monarch
is
literally just took a moment to meditate as the round shifted. Eyes closed, locking in.
Monarch
Do or
getting
die.
double upset is going to do more mental damage to me than to Monarch.
All right, there's a 5L interrupts. Okay,
Good
spot
dodge. Yeah, the meter is out.
Good
Clutch. This time, the timing for the hop, he had done the Zephyr a little bit earlier, but when he had done the Zephyr earlier, slow kill was available, and that stuffed the Zephyr. He waited until the timer was down because of the ult and was able to get in with it. Good block again. Going to get the chip here. Needs some meter, though. Right now, Monarch is a little starved, and even though it seems like he has the advantage, with the number of crystals and the ults available, this could go downhill real fast.
Oh, all right, good snipe. Oh, butterfly locked in. We're still chipping away. DonQuavis at 77%.
We're probably going to see ult balls coming out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, ult polemic it is, but yeah, DonQuavis had to spend that meter.
Oh, but not able to
Too
convert it.
far to convert.
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught the jump M there, but it was just out of range for the 5M conversion. Monarch staving off elimination, and look at the just meditation going on right now.
Ooh, let's breathe through it because,
And
man, that was a nail biter.
DonQuavis is in that danger right now of like, when you take a game off a top player, this can happen, especially when the top player is a top player and
Yes,
goes back
yes,
to character
yes.
select to breathe. It's not a mental thing. It's a physiological thing. You have an adrenaline dump.
Exactly. It's
And
that high that you get.
Yeah,
from victory.
exactly. And it makes you crash. And Don Quavius just needs to hold on through this set and keep playing the way that he's been playing.
Yeah, it's important, especially at this level, because there are many players that get overzealous about their victory. Like, great, I'm one step closer. No, finish the job and let the adrenaline take over.
And
then
look at the
oh
and
no!
yes, absolutely illustrated what we were talking about. That is the first ult reversal we have seen out of Don Quavius the entire set, and he did it in a situation where Monarch was like a third of the screen away.
Yeah.
Because he's just kind of at that zone where it's like, sometimes you don't do something aggressive because you think it's the right thing to do. It's because you're so tired of being in a tense situation that you would rather lose than exist like that any longer.
Those moments of frustration, you got to fight against them. All right, starting to go back to the Flamex Thunder. Slow
This time,
connect.
mistimed the dodge.
Ooh, okay. But at least got rid of the rat race. That's still a positive.
That was kind of a win for both players because it also got a crystal out of Monarch, which for Don Quavius is a big deal. You got to move forward. Don't go backwards at the butterfly. Yes, great trade for Don Quavius here. Not so great on that one.
Oh my
God.
God.
Wow. That was a little frisky. And Monarch is like, oh, we're playing like that. Let's go, buddy.
We got hands? Me too. All right. Oh, the stagger. That could have been big.
Monarch on one crystal. How's Don Quavius feeling about Monarch's relative unk status?
Say it so. Callisto, what ain't happening? I've seen this man spot dodge time and time again. It ain't happening.
Doesn't get the dodge that he needs for the punish on Flamek, though.
Stagger. There's a 2L. Oh, trying to do the call out low.
Got the counter hit.
Special.
Look at the meter advantage for Don Quavius, but the life advantage is not there.
Oh, good roll.
Oh!
Rainfall. And the
Yes!
shot coming from Monarch to catch the back dash.
You saw the spot dodge into the roll, which is normal trades. That is a massively favorable trade for the Vaseraga.
Yeah.
It guarantees you Soul Forge, and now you really have an opportunity to get in. Or you can actually ignore the Soul Forge, take the hard knockdown, and just get in her face.
So many choices for this character who is a monstrosity to deal with. But we'll see if Labyrinth Z can come out on top against Abu Dhabi for a last loser side top 24 qualifier.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
All right, opening gambit here. And just getting that space and forcing Abu Dhabi to try to roll through some of the projectile.
Yeah, and there we do see the sweep early on. Just trying to fish for that knockdown to get started and using that JM. So as hard as it is to approach, when he does get through in the air, that JM is like a half-screen jump in. That's also very good against zoners for Vaseraga. Oh no, a little bit of a back throw incident here though. Good patience here. Again,
nobody hops. All right, off the wall we go. Good launch. Gonna go for the butterfly setup and save the meter on these ults.
Not falling for the BC baits, but again, unfortunately, Abu Dhabi has actually been playing very solid on a lot of the structured baits that Lab is attempting, but then he's just getting hit low. Okay, I actually don't know what happens here. This does have guard point, So the guard point, look, this is dead. This is actually dead.
Stripped of 2 brave points that were available to you.
Wow.
That's a raw super for you.
A great call out, knowing that the upwards strike part of the SSBA combined with the guard point would get through that situation.
Exactly. I mean, like you called out earlier, it's so rare to see Vaseraga. So it might be spend it, so it might be in the
but
back
if you're not allowed to move for 40 seconds, you can't use your ults. So, hey, now you have an SSBA available.
All right, Instinction does get the Soul Forge. Oh, backing off. It's Savage Rampage.
Gonna get a lot of corner carry here. Yeah, decides to re-up the Soul Forge.
I agree, I agree.
I like just respecting the old butterfly too.
100%.
Ooh! Oh, okay.
That could have been a big
I
carry.
like the idea. That would have been pretty sick.
Before, has to hold this ult butterfly, tries to go for the EX Instinction.
Yeah, this is a little bit more what we're used to this matchup looking like. Doesn't spend the Raging Chain there. I think I would have maybe liked to see that expense.
Good roll. Another one here, JF.
Ooh,
no!
yeah.
Got the
This is kind of scary for Lab here. Okay.
Got that maximum range, just avoiding that BC entirely. That was fortunate for Abu Dhabi, yet Labyrinth has the health to survive.
Battle
All right, 1 round apiece on this first game. Let's see who's really going to get the advantage. Aggression early out of lab, trying to get the corner. Unfortunately, worked against him. Clutch jump out by Abidabi. Switched the positioning and got a solid 35%, 40%. We're still going. Does combo limit come into play?
I think
Oh,
not on
yikes.
this one here. Nice. Kept it short. Unfortunately getting punished. What do we do here?
Lab is very low on resources right now.
Yeah. Oh,
That was actually very clutch. That was an ult, so that did get 50 out of Abidabi, and now he doesn't really have a reversal available.
exactly. Continue the pressure. Nice little hop.
Yeah, I like Lab recognizing that the
Oh,
lows are where Lab was really getting his mileage earlier, and I think he needs to stop baiting BC
Right.
and start going it more into that run-up 5L.
The ult command grab off the wayside here. Very fortunate for Labyrinth down to the last break point. If we can keep Abidabi at bay, we can secure a game.
Is Lab playing for chip, though? You can't play to not lose here. You have to play to win, and this is something that Lab is in danger of. He's kind of playing not to lose.
All right. Oh, and again, we keep trying for these BCs, but Abidabi just keeps playing the
Ooh,
max
look at
range,
the-
and I can't believe the shot.
The
stole
exhale
victory.
from Lab. I am amazed the monitor didn't blow over.
Both of them just so breathing, and like you called out earlier, holding the breath. I like the reference
That's
boxing.
what- yes.
That's literally what it was. It's the
Yeah.
boxing field. You go for the inbox, and the first one to breathe is the one that loses.
Thank you for illustrating what I was talking about earlier, though. In those tense situations, it is just natural to hold your breath, and you don't notice it until your vision starts to darken. Baits it out.
Nice.
You know what? That's good timing for the DP, though. There wasn't a ton of resources available for Abidabi, so that could have been a much stronger punish if more was available. No falling for the throw bait. Lab thrown right back into the corner. We haven't seen a lot of command grabs out of Abidabi yet so far.
We've seen like the one attempt, but just got baited out. Labyrinth
Yeah.
was able to dodge it here, and Abidabi going to close out this round.
And maybe that's why Matera wants to take to the air so frequently, that
Right.
just sticking to the light follow-up is so much more sustainable for Vaseraga. And you have to represent that as your level 1 from your step pressure.
Show to me that you want to stay grounded, then I'll think about throwing in command grabs. All right, Rainfall once again. Actually, great instinction. Easy.
Good patience there.
That's the staggered dash light.
Labyrinth with some
Butterfly setup
momentum.
here.
But unfortunately, not a lot of damage. And again, he's going continually for these baits that Abidabi has not really fallen for yet. Abidabi's patience, actually, I'm not going to lie, is very impressive to me. Yeah, we got to spend that super. You don't want to invest a crystal. However, that said, like, okay, that old Instinction is the best possible thing that could happen to Lab, because now we don't have to worry about that SSBA being on deck.
Ooh.
Are we going to spend another ult here?
Yeah, let's go.
Not
Show
yet.
the tackle, passing right through 100% meter.
Yeah,
There's
but
Cole.
even with Soulforge, he cannot armor. Only Vayne can armor more health than what he has. You got to keep in mind that Soulforge loses its value once you're getting down to a single tap worth of health. And at some point, I think it's better to just chase the Oki rather than stocking up.
Right.
Yeah,
I go for a roll there, but able to get on the opposite side. Labyrinth with the challenge. Backdash.
oh, and this time the bait technically worked. He got what he wanted out of Abidabi, but unfortunately it became a back throw incident.
BC out.
A JM right there for Abidabi would have been
Oh, yeah.
just destructive.
But I mean, look at this. Already got the corner
Yeah,
carry
still
here.
destructive.
Maximum combo.
There's the command grab.
Front guard crush. BC out. Abidabi with a substantial life lead right now.
Yeah, good.
Next, the
Yes.
ult butterfly, but still gets scoped.
Really good adjustment there because of the extra hit stop from absorbing all those normals and the 5L.
Able to call it out, Labyrinth Z.
The winner of this tournament will get that automatic qualification to the tour finals for GBVS World Tour that'll be happening at Side Games Cup at the end of the calendar year. We'll get more information on that event as it becomes available, but you want to make sure that you have your ticket stamped, and it all happens right here. It all starts right here. Loser will be going home, so a lot on the line here as we get underway. The Holy Sword of Lumiel versus the Prodigal Bow of the Butterfly Maiden, Matera. Let's get into it, Shuabu.
Yeah, what a fight to kick off top 24, am I right?
Unbelievable.
Victory. Battle.
Let's see how the round start pans out for both players. Yeah, Xerom ducking under a lot of these moves, trying to get in underneath the fireballs, see if a Monarch is able to adapt to that, keep him out.
Yep, just stay in that competitive range. Be as sticky as you can with Charlotta, who does have pretty good offense when she gets up close, but Matera already putting them back away. But a counter hit BC, good for Charlotta here. Get the late tech, but still, again, maintaining that immediate spacing to be a threat.
Yeah, I really like how Xerom is disrespecting these minor minus frames. You know, the threat of that light holy ladder, the threat of all of these like short plus frames, and Monarch kind of delaying his response, afraid of that, and Xerom really capitalizing on it.
Yeah, we will see a lot of comfort in this neutral phase as you pointed out, expertly evading these Starry Skies. Oh, but runs still into the butterfly after taking a couple of ult ones to the chin. Now we're sitting back at a health deficit, and the butterfly is still there after you tried to ball past it. The lingering hurtbox and hitbox of Matera's butterfly projectile set play tool. What more can you say about it?
Yeah, Xerom getting taken out by a lot of chip damage from the zoning, but he's playing really disrespectfully, and it's actually panning out really well, right? We saw that blocked BC into immediate 6XL, and it traded. Just goes to show that I feel like Xerom is not really scared right now, and Monarch maybe a little bit more scared.
Might be a little scared as we get out of the corner because you were in a pretty sticky situation if Charlotta was going to find their way in. Xerom's been doing a really good job at that, but Monarch really focusing on keeping them at bay. Butterfly reinforcements and then being able to call out the roll through after the Zephyr. Not a big damage, but it's about the positioning.
Yeah, barely made it over that butterfly. Would have been really scared if he got caught in it. And disrespecting the minus frames, yeah, but not a huge punish for Monarch. Xerom kind of being allowed to do all these things even though he's at life deficit.
You were mentioning too, it's just the chips that have been adding up. It feels like Monarch has gotten like no real big hits, but you look up at that health bar, and we got a chance to really even it out with that 6XL, but no conversion on the counter hit. But back to that point, it just feels like Monarch has such control of the health lead despite really not landing any clean hits.
Oh man, those G-bags. Xerom not biting, but it's so scary. Holding down the neutral, one more hit, but Xerom getting that blue lariat and getting a huge conversion here. That's all he needs, sealing out this round, tying it up in this first game.
Unbelievable patience, playing the resource where once they had that 50%, it's very dangerous to be in the corner against Charlotta. Got the double ult ball conversion because they were so close to the corner, being able to pick up on that for a lethal combo extension. Going to that final round here, Monarch opting to be a lot more aggressive because sitting back was not the answer in round 2.
Yeah, Xerom just was super capitalizing on Monarch playing passively, and now Monarch has to play a lot more aggressively, and it is panning out so far, but now Xerom's in.
Oh, yeah, but in you are in the face of the butterfly. Again, has been doing a lot of chip, but this time being able to get more damage. As a zoner, you don't get a lot of opportunities for a clean hit. Tried to get air unblockable there with the 2M, but Charlotta just dropping to the ground right after that, but it might be too little too late for Xerom.
Yeah, he's at chip point here. One hit is all he needs, and that spot dodge, good choice of using the Starry Sky. Delayed hitbox just very slightly, catching that spot dodge. Monarch taking this first game.
And going to the notes already, I don't know what you would really do in that notebook, or what would you be looking for in that notebook? Just be like, throw out arrow more, arrow good, getting hit bad.
I think if you've watched Xerom at all, right, and I'm sure Monarch has studied him a lot, he's probably looking at his notes and seeing, okay, I probably wrote this down and might have forgot it in the heat of battle, right? But Xerom is disrespecting a lot on minus frames, and it's working a lot, so why would he change that? Towards the end, Monarch was starting to take his frames back a little bit, but now we're on like layer 2, right? Now Xerom might choose to disrespect those minus frames with DP, with the light holy ladder too, which can catch a lot of slower buttons, which Matera doesn't have great frame data up close, right?
Right. And the funny thing about how Monarch plays Matera and the character Matera itself, she's a lot more malleable than you give her credit for. Of course, she's very, very known for the zoning being the highlight, but being able to showcase how commanding her presence can be when she gets a little bit closer to you, as Charlotta is right now. Unfortunately, going to be back thrown, no escape with Matera getting going. Her up-close offense can be something too, but not going to see that from her. Instead, we're going to get Xerom putting on some damage and betting it all, spending the meter here early.
Yeah, I think it's really important to take away the BP as early as possible, because right there, right, you get the BP out, and now you go back to neutral where Matera is dominant. But thanks to that super earlier, Monarch is down to 1 BP, no meter to regenerate it either.
Oh man, trying to find an opportunity for that ball, especially so close to the corner. Again, the trade with the butterfly, but Xerom undeterred. Again, being extremely disrespectful when they get that opportunity, and it pays off there with a round 1 victory in game 2.
Yeah, Xerom kind of tightening it up a little bit, and also right here, kind of waiting out that Monarch's frustration gauge is going up, right? Once you're getting low on BP, you no longer have access to the Brave counter, so you have to take greater risks to get out of pressure, like mashing or something else. Right there, catching the roll, just a little bit of damage, but we're going back to neutral once again.
Yep, and I do love the positioning game of them being able to try to get away from that butterfly. But this time, just again, using that Starry Sky option to not necessarily trigger the butterfly early, but just catch them with a 5U attempt. But Xerom still finding their way in, getting the throw, and another one to boot.
Yeah, huge momentum swing here for Xerom. Monarch, one more hit near the corner, should take it, but huge DP getting out of the ult ball, back to neutral. A lot of rolls coming out from Xerom, but Monarch usually ready for and a huge trade combo. Should be enough. No, chooses not to spend. Oh, actually goes for the ultimate fireball and is able to kill.
Yeah, that final hit with the ult fireballs, the low arrows is always a jump scare because, again, I always say, you know, not a big damage character unless she gets the right touch, but then you see that big chunk of damage come off the life bar at the end. But a good chunk coming off here, being able to go underneath Matera, get them on the other side. Pretty basic conversion, but again, using that shallow jump arc of Charlotta to beat the 1H attempt.
Oh man, Xerom not respecting that butterfly at all. Recognizes that there aren't enough frames for Monarch to fully frame trap, so just 6XLs right in. Now Monarch on 1 BP, it's looking really scary actually. One more hit and into super should be able to kill.
Yep, got to be mindful. Again, you're in that corner. Ult ball is an option if we want to show it. Trying to use the demon flip to get in. And going to be able to get an ult ball conversion here. Catching an errant raging strike. Xerom answering the bell and evening the count here. Not going down without a fight. We're going into game 3 with 1 apiece on both of the Conmay teammates' count.
Yeah, and in top 24, I do believe it is still 1st to 2. So next game takes it for either player. One of these players is going to have to be sent home. But on the other hand, you think at least one of the team makes it out, right? And we do also have Elsa elsewhere in the bracket, also in loser side.
Yep. It's been a really crazy bracket. If some of you may be watching saying, you know, what happened to Monarch, such a dominant player? Why is he in loser side? We'll get to that player when we get there, but right now we have to deal with the problem in front of us, and Charlotta is getting up close and personal early once again. Monarch had that adaptation to be aggressive, but Xerom not letting them get the chance.
Yeah, the demon flip really hard for Matera to actually anti-air because of how shallow it is, how fast it moves. So it ends up being sort of 3+ frames for Xerom. And recognizing that Monarch is ducking the demon flip, which is the correct response because you never want to get command grab, but allows Xerom to get that little bit of chip damage from the Helmbreaker.
Yeah, but a successful knockdown too if you get it, but right now we're going right back to neutral, but Xerom can afford to play it a little bit more patiently and find their spot, but had the hit, just runs into a far light instead. A little bit of an exchange in rolls, but a great fall going to be what happens after the fact. Monarch sending them back to square one.
Yeah, the DP coming in clutch right there, catching that roll. I think Xerom rolling a lot. I feel like when he uses his movement to get in, it's huge, but right here, Monarch going to get a huge amount of damage build up. Not enough meter for super and whiffs that ultimate fireball.
Yep, combo limit was active, but we are still able to snipe them out of the sky from a distance. The aim remains true. The marksmanship of great fall. Matera striking down the Holy Sword of Lumiel in round 1 and looking to strike them out of the bracket entirely going into set point for Monarch.
Yeah, I think out of all the Matera players, right, every Matera player has their pluses and minuses. I think one of the things that sets Monarch apart from every other Matera player is how good his anti-airs are.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You just cannot jump in on him. He has the right answer for the right distance, for the right situation, for the right meter amount.
Yeah, whether it's that great fall, whether it's that 1H, 2H, 3H, or just an anti-air 2M to get the low profile, it's really good. Look for it right there, but again, Charlotta falling right out of there. Good positioning by Xerom to really try to stay out of the range of that 2M because that's a big damage opportunity if they can find it. But anti-air far medium, there you go.
Yeah, Xerom getting dangerously low here, but he does have a bit of a meter advantage. We are back at 50 meter. We might see the ultimate butterfly very soon. There it is. And now Xerom's so locked into the corner, but you jump here, getting over it. There's his opening. Ult ball into another ult ball. We have the corner.
And that was that demon flip you were talking about, Shuabu. Really good way to get in and get over the grounded option from the Terra. Look at those G-backs with just a BC at the end of the day. Different letters in the alphabet. Can we get a W with the positioning and the spacing we've established? The ult butterfly to answer the ball coming in, and it is Monarch sending his teammate Xerom home early in top 24.
Yeah, definitely not happy about that, but that's just how you know that this is a bracket full of killers, right? He doesn't believe he can beat Kojicoco, usually. And he asked Kojicoco who he was going to pick, and he said Ferry for the whole tournament, and he said, I have a chance. That's the only reason I have a chance, because of the Ferry. So let's see if he can take that chance and convert it into a winner's final. Or into a winner's top 8.
Would love to see that for him, but I also do love to see Kojicoco step up to the stage. It's just two competitors of high caliber squaring off on the CEO stage, right near the wrestling ring. But between the square, it is always going to be complete heat. The wind is at the back of Grimnir, but let's see if Ferry can curtail it. Let's get into our next set of winner side top 24. Zane Kojicoco underway here in the Coliseum of Albion.
Yeah, and this round start is gonna dictate the entire pace of the round, right? You really want to set up these seals with Grimnir, and Ferry has good ways to stuff it out, but getting her own Far H stuffed out with a Far H of Zane's own.
Yeah, Grimnir 5H, very good button, but sniping out the air movement with GG, I think that's a really cool tool to be using as Ferry to just keep Grimnir out of disguise, make him think about it. But so now we go to the ground with the ultimate lariat. I do love the quick adaptation here for Zane.
Yeah, with punishing that extended hurt box, going for the throw, and now Zane has the corner advantage, and you never want to give that to Grimnir. Seals out. This is so scary, but Kojicoco with that excellent whip punch with the far light, converting it into damage, but you really want to get Grimnir away from these seals. You do not want to be playing on these. Like that right there, that he's back in, able to convert thanks to the seal, and now Kojicoco getting caught by the shimmy. Huge corner combo is going to cash out into the super and take the first round.
Yeah, that's one of the examples of the matchup really in its nutshell, because the strike zoning prowess of Ferry is very strong, but the nature of the character is you are committing to covering one area on the screen, where Grimnir is such a high mobility character, very tricky maneuverability, and being able to go over the get set to just get in her face and threaten that shimmy in the first place was huge, but Ferry denying it this time around, getting the throw punish.
Yeah, huge punish on that lariat. I've actually very rarely seen the lariat properly being punished there. And we have the 5Hs, we're still plus. Zane getting in, now we're playing on the seals. Nice blocks, but gets frame trapped by the second seal dash, taking him all the way to the corner. Nice conversion.
I thought they nerfed the old lariat so it wouldn't get wall bounce. How are we already in the corner? But here we go. Already going to be using that corner position to get the big old BNB. Nothing bread and butter, nothing basic about this damage. It's going to link into the super huge cyclone to take the wind out of Ferry's sails in a game one. Zane, he said he had a chance. Looking pretty good right here.
It's huge, right? I think in this matchup specifically, it can be really hard for Ferry because her HP is really low, and Grimnir has such high damage and such high mix of potential, right?
Yeah, just again, it's a matter of who gets to put in that advantage state first. That's why Zane has always had the modus operandi be, I want to play the Grimnir game before Ferry can play the Ferry game. But right here in the Duco situation, when you're away from the seals, the important positioning that you were alluding to, very important. But Zane already punishing it, going to the corner.
Yeah, won't have access to the seals here. Goes for the tornado setup instead. Jump back, get out of there, and just peppering Kojicoco with these lariats, trying to just force him into making a mistake, running into a straight hitbox so he can get that corner position. But Kojicoco locking him back out, both kind of at even life.
Yep, going right over the whip again. The normal not going to be able to reach quite high enough. You have good coverage horizontally, but we take to the skies to traverse it. Zane trying to move themselves into the winner's side of top 8 here. Kojicoco on the Ferry is going to have to fight back real quick.
And this is set point for Zane right here. Playing so fast. It's barely been a minute, man.
That's Grimnir, man. He wants to move fast. He's the wind god for crying out loud. Wind does not mean slow. It means we have to move at brisk pace.
Yeah, and he's definitely looking to move real fast off of those seals, but Kojicoco, good awareness of which side he was on, pressing that far medium, punishing him. A full screen run in, throw into a setup, and we just DP out of there.
Yeah, I don't want to hold that. I know you got GG in front of me. I'm not going to hold the mix if I don't have to. And I'm not going to hold any of your pressure either. Ult DP, Beppo, get back to Grimnir. But Grimnir making themselves right back in at home in the face of Ferry. More stout defense for Ferry, though.
Huge damage. Zane, he has super on deck, and he's going to take it. Zane upsetting Kojicoco to move on in this winner's side. Kojicoco getting knocked down to losers. This is what you were saying earlier, right? A lot of players have a shot at winning this tournament if they don't run them.
Can.
Yeah, and it is a regional team kill. Both of these players are from Northern California. They play each other a lot, which probably leads to why Niantic is picking the Beatrix here instead of the Sandalphon, despite saying that he's more comfortable in the matchup. This might be a player matchup type of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a game like Granblue, like, it is a very matchup-focused game, not just in the character sense, but in the player sense.
Of course.
It's not necessarily the most broad in terms of what broad and diverse in terms of options that each character has, especially when they're trying to initiate their offense or play neutral. So being able to be in tune with player habits and having the comfortability with your own character to expose those habits goes a very long way, especially in a high-level scenario. But high-level matchup underway here, Niantic versus Luis Ferdinand. We're sitting at that Ferry range, just sitting back there, peppering them with these whip normals. But riding free, that's a good way to get in.
Yeah, and now Niantic has full corner pressure, gets that anti-air hit. Luis Ferdinand not respecting it with a whip swing out, and Niantic drawing first blood on this combo.
Get the low profile finding themselves in, but the counter hit BC to get them out and being utilized in return, but disrespecting a not so safe jump. Also disrespecting the GG summon, immediate 6XL, wants to make sure that Beatrix is holding, or Ferry's holding down back, so Beatrix can do what she does, brawl with the best of them, and here we go. This might be a lethal left hook being thrown to the gut of Ferry.
Yeah, and it's crazy the combo started that Niantic got. He did minus frames, fuzzy 6XL, which is showing him that he's not scared of anything, right? Luis Ferdinand now has to rethink his pressure. He'll probably want to keep it tight moving forward because Niantic not giving him any room to wiggle in.
Oh, funky interaction there going for the Star Chaser Fireball, but now going to be able to chase Ferry into the corner. Early BC, that's going to be huge to put Ferry down to as little defensive resources as possible. A character without a meterless reversal needs those to keep Beatrix at bay.
Yeah, just no respect here. And Luis Ferdinand already out of BP, and once again, Niantic disrespecting the run-up, knows that Ferry doesn't get a huge amount of reward there and is able to safely mash the far light. And Luis Ferdinand just does not have screen real estate here, getting caught with the huge far H, but drops the combo.
Oh, couldn't quite get the far light conversion either, so getting a little bit of shimmy action right here. Shimmy Neutron, Boy Genius looking very smart here and clashing that thick, big skull up against Ferry's with the command grab. 1-0 Niantic already, making Luis Ferdinand think maybe we go back to character select, think about the Elsa, think about the Yule, I don't know.
He's moving around. Vaseraga? No.
I've never seen it, bro. I've never seen it. It doesn't exist. Picking a color. You know you don't have a color.
What? Huh? He's picking the song. He's not going back.
My jaw's on the floor. I did not expect this.
I've never seen him play this game.
No, me neither. I'm looking at him like pick colors. I'm just like, all right, he's really good. He's committing to this bit. Like, that's a good one. Ha ha, very good, funny. No, he's for real.
He's locked into Vaseraga for the rest of the set, which could be a very fast one or a longer one, and I don't know.
All right, well, let's see it. We'll see what they've been cooking up with the Armor Titan already using that heavy instinction. So he does know a little bit about the Vaseraga kit, a very popular round start with that character. But Niantic already in tune with it, jumping on over and already putting Vaseraga in the corner.
Oh, almost catches that spot dodge, but just a little bit out of range with that H follow-up. And Niantic getting the first combo into the corner. Luis Ferdinand not in a good spot here. Goes straight to the super. He's losing another bravery point down to 1 diamond.
Yeah, but you do have higher health as Vaseraga than you do as Ferry. Ferry, one of the lowest health characters in the game, so the Beatrix touches do add up, especially since she's such a high damage character. Give yourself a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more margin of error in that department as Vaseraga. I do understand, but I mean, you're running out of life here. Niantic trying to use that far ace to get a little bit less, but some gasp of life here from Luis Ferdinand with the ult tackle.
Yeah, that high slash from the command stance. It's just plus on whiff, but actually Niantic this time ready and whiff punishing it with the 2L, stuffing out Luis Ferdinand's next move and taking this round. He's now on set point.
Alrighty, we will see if the Vaseraga has any bit left in the tank. Nice 2H anti-air. You saw that they were going for that jump over the fireball the last time. Couldn't get the DP punish right there. Wanted all the damage with that far heavy. But Niantic just going to get another chance to usher Vaseraga to the corner. But sit back down, little lady. Society training says, do not press go when we have not collected 200, brother.
Ooh, just barely able to block after that 6XL. Taking the throw. Luis Ferdinand, no resources, not able to go for any ult skills, but back into the corner, into the command grab. What we got? Catches him trying to jump out with the 2M. We have corner pressure here, plus frames.
Sitting out of range of that far heavy. I like the position that they're adopting here, but Niantic trying to make sure they close the gap with the 6XL, but keeping that position with the BC.
Getting dangerously close to Chip now too. Oh, tries the BC, block, back throw, incident, and Luis Ferdinand taking around, showing signs of life.
Okay, all right, the Vaseraga cooking a little bit. We might have disrespected the mans a little bit. We might have not put enough respect on the name. Familiar with the game, I was not. But we were familiar with the heavy Star Chaser up against the heavy Instinction from Vaseraga. So that's why we got reset to neutral with the BC.
Iago getting a lot out of these BCs, able to stock up if he chooses to, but once again stuck in the corner, gets a hit out, not able to get that stock. He didn't even get it, but back throws the corner yet again. He has armor, it's gonna be real scary, but there's the UDP side swap.
Oh, exchange of greetings, unfortunately not going to be punished on either side, but here we go. Like you said, plus on whiff, going to be able to get a hit, but not convert off of it. These are some touches that Luis Ferdinand was going to wish they had back.
Yeah, and BC once again blocked Niantic. Just waiting a little bit with the backdash shimmy. Huge hit. You are on 1 BP. Can we get enough for the super? Probably not quite. Instead, just going for the reset, but next hit should be able to kill.
Oh, Instinction, the big wall of plasma by the big moving wall. That is the Armored Society member. Are we training the young pupper? No, they're going to jump over the command grab, and the Hellcat is racing forward into winner's side top 8. Niantic taking it 2-0, but Vaseraga at least making them work for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard before that Vaseraga is a good matchup into Beatrix, but I didn't think that...
She will play into that a lot more than Riazo can. Riazo will have to be a lot more careful with her options, or maybe you just throw caution to the wind and say, maybe you expect me to throw or hedge my risks here, and I take the risky option that you're not ready for. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but we're going to get a button check here first between these two, I believe. But... it is going to presumably be that Vaseraga versus the Seox.
Yeah.
And you have had some time on the Seox as well, so I feel like in the neutral phase, in that round start phase, what are you trying to do early to establish that position so that Seox can get that offense going, especially against a character when he doesn't have armor, when he doesn't have that ultimate reversal with the resources? You can have your way.
Yeah, so I think Vaseraga has a lot more tools right at the round start, right? He has access to the fireball, he has larger normals, he has a strong anti-air, so 6 can't necessarily jump in. It's a lot about 6 using his movement to try to sneak his way in. But something I wanted to highlight, you know, you mentioned the high damage of Voss from earlier. As a 6 player myself, right, you have to get in to do your damage. You have to do strike throw. I think out of the entire roster, the scariest character in the whole roster to run strike throw pressure on is Vaseraga.
Yeah.
He has 3 reversals, and they all require different responses, and they all kill you.
Yeah, like I think one of the ways that I've talked to some of the Vaseraga players ever since my match with Abu Dhabi earlier in the bracket was that one thing you want to do is establish a lot of tick throw offense so that you can have a ready response. You're not necessarily committing to an offensive option, so you can jump over the command grab if you see it, hold down back after the jab if you see the ultimate lariat or ult tackle. But Seox does have access to having really good tick throw offense, so maybe we see a little bit out of Riazo. Can't necessarily sit back in that Granblue zone a lot of other characters can against Voss. So we will see how mindful the offensive approach is for Riazo up against that, and especially against BSG, he rotates his defensive options with that character extremely well. So you got to be uncomfortable with your starting offense, even more than you already alluded to.
Yeah, I definitely think the best Vaseraga players, it's not about their offense, their mix-up. It really does boil down to the defense, right? Because the more chances you get, eventually you're going to kill your opponent. And by having good defense, you buy yourself more chances, right? BSG, definitely one of those players who rotates their options very well. You know, obviously we have Arc World Tour finalist Debagame, probably the premier more defensive Vaseraga. I think BSG maybe slightly weaker on the defense side, but his offense,
Oh my gosh.
especially against a character without a DP like Six, all he has to do is get that opportunity, get that fuzzy mash out, get that reversal out, and then get in once, and Ryuzo could be cooked.
All right, well, we'll see who we doing the cooking. There are too many chefs in the kitchen. Only one of them can serve the ratatouille to the critic. Here we go underway. Let's get some cookery going, and it's going to be hot on the stove. Seox, but oh no, actually no, I was about to say Vaseraga striking back, but we already got to throw into a quick late tech, but BSG swat him out of the sky.
Yeah, already has the armor, but it is taking down. Gonna have to look for another opportunity after it runs out to build up armor again, but there it is, the knockdown. Now he has full armor, doesn't have to spend it yet. Wiggling for meter and getting that nice whiff punish.
Checking him with that far light. Threatening that empty hand, though, has already been swatted out of the sky with that big slash from the Savage Rampage stance. Ult Rekka to find her way in, but you're seeing Ryuzo just weave in and out, just not necessarily staying in the face of Voss where he can be extremely threatening.
Yeah, and not able to challenge the stock up right there. Ryuzo going for a lot of safe chip pressure here.
Alrighty, forcing the BC with the heavy Rekka, not wanting to play that game, sitting back, getting that armor as a result of the dead space, and then again on the plus frame, just doesn't want to play that game.
Yeah, BlueSkyGuy now down 2 VP though. Ryuzo has 3 VP to work with. Going for the parry dash, not able to get a punch there, getting caught low, probably trying to jump, and a huge sweep right there, no confirm afterwards.
Hedging their bets with the Gate of Demons Fireball cancel. Could have otherwise canceled it into a lethal combo, but it's going to be a lethal use of the armor after Ryuzo trying to take their turn back expeditiously, but we'll run up into an armored Vaseraga. BSG getting the first round.
Yeah, Ryuzo looking to cancel to Rekka right there. I like the idea, trying to go for a multi-hit move, but the hit's coming out just a little bit too slow to actually stop out the armor. Huge parry here. Plus frames, we're already in. We have him in the corner. This is where you want to be. Let's see if we can open them up. Lots of blocks here.
Auto combo low, tech on the throw, dive kick as well, and being able to react, like we were saying at the start of the set, being able to have their offense, able to react to the command grab startup, and that's a big combo, ushering them to the other side of the corner despite jumping over. But Ryuzo looking really strong here, Shuabu.
Yeah, counter hit on the 2M, goes straight into the super. -1 BP, didn't even need it. Taking a strong second round here for Ryuzo, tying it up.
Yeah, it's just that immediate switch of gears. You saw that they were looking a little bit more for that spacing game, and then just to say, you know what, to hell with it, just get our plus frames with the empty hand and enforce our situation right here. Put them in the blender, put them in the mixer, but gonna mash out. BSG gonna get some armor going too.
Yeah, Ryuzo looking to stall the timer as long as he can. Doesn't want to let him stock up. There it is. No confirm off of the wall dive, but is able to get the plus frames here. Still no armor to work with. BC's out. Gets caught with that command grab. Something I want to call attention to earlier is BlueSkyGuy has done a lot of early teching. Right there, getting caught with the parry, getting taken all the way to the corner. Nice conversion with the jump in.
Yeah, I do love using the Thunder Flash parry to not necessarily interact with the RPS of the follow-ups of the Savage Rampage stance, but just the stomps themselves. That's a guaranteed strike, no matter how you slice it if you're close enough. But if you're close enough, you can get grabbed as well. BSG reversal to get them back to neutral.
This is a lot of early techs coming out, but right there, catching him low, getting the stock back up. I feel like Ryuzo should be aware of these early techs now. Nothing a 6-player loves more than seeing your opponent white tech your throws. It means that all of your throw baits will start working if you just need one.
BSG getting close to 50%, has it now, so Ultimate Instinct could be at play. As is an Ultimate Command Grab, jumps over it, no punish, and that's a lethal mistake. BSG going to be able to get them on the other side with the far heavy and go up a first game against Ryuzo.
It's so tragic right there. Ryuzo was right, catching the command grab, but hitting that jam just a little bit too high, even aware that he didn't have a lot of plus frames to work with, but getting that close light block into the BC, into the meaty 5H, that was tragic. It was Ryuzo's round there.
You just got to put that out of your mind here. Going to game 2 with a fresh state of mind. Going to be able to use the Thunder Flash to get through the far heavy, or the Sweeping Slash, I should say. But now we are in the corner. Fight our way out with the heavy Rekka. Go back to mid-screen. Couple of checks on the throw.
Yeah, gotta be careful there from BlueSkyGuy. Ryuzo is gonna start throw baiting soon next time he gets in. And a huge call out on the wall dive. thinking that he would not cancel it, would just let it rock, going for the multi-hit on the Rekka to stop out the armor.
Yep, just enough to break through the 2 hits that Vaseraga can tank, but counter hit BC to send them away and get more armor back. Has access to that 100 meter, but gonna have to use it defensively maybe. You know, that's why we just see HBC.
We're catching the backdash right there, gonna get a wall bounce here. A little bit of damage, going to the super, just taking that last BP. I like it.
That high up, you get the cinematic. That's pretty good to be able to take all of the defensive resources out, force them to make a decision, and get the throw bait there with a good old gated demons. Riazo not looking too perturbed by how that last game ended.
Yeah, Riazo's been sowing that throw bait all game, all set, and is finally able to sow on it. Huge jump over. Oh, spot dodges the U follow-up. Actually didn't need to. Was scared that the backwards hitbox would hit him out of his normal, and no punish there. Back throw back into the corner.
Oh, went for the throw there, but maybe just a little bit out of range, so BSG going to be able to get the mash out, send them back so they can get the stocks up.
You never want to be in this situation. You don't want to let Vaseraga stock up. You don't want to let him return to neutral. We're just standing down and going for the ultimate Rekka, and the stock is gone here. Gotta be worried about blue skills, though.
Oh, but how about you be worried about the quick mash? Not even going to respect any attempt to start offense. BSG going to be able to usher themselves out of the corner. Good knockdown to get the armor as well. Looking pretty good here in round 2.
Yeah, one command grab here should be able to kill. Ooh, cancels the ult skill. Not quite.
Not going to be able to be fooled by the Shadow Step trickery as well. Going to the other side, trying to get them plus on whiff. But again, Riazo not biting. 38 seconds on the clock. Just does not feel the urgency quite yet.
Ooh, huge counter poke right there with the far life. Armoring up again. This is so scary. You're at chip point. He has armor, but the huge cross up, and he's going to cancel into the SSBA. It should be enough here. 0 diamonds. He's going to take a game, tying it up 1-1.
Crazy. I was just crediting them not going for the Shadow Step or not being able to be fooled by the Shadow Step, but unfortunately after the Rekka, you're already thinking about the other options that are part of it. Going over to the other side when you're not even really thinking about holding the guard button, that's some pretty good stuff right there. Leveraging the full bag of tricks here from Seox in game 2.
Yeah, Riazo knew that he needed to make a huge comeback there. He had only one choice right there, and BlueSkyGuy caught sleeping at the wheel. With punishes here and catching it again with the armor into a huge conversion, but no, dropped it. Doesn't go for the tackle.
And that old Rekka paying dividends right there, being able to burst through the armor, but Riazo going to be hit for their troubles. Now Vaseraga commanding life lead and armor. Very good spot for BSG to be in.
Yeah, we're getting dangerously close to chip territory again. And nice conversion, catching the backdash, going for the safe jump.
Oh, man, you feel it in your soul. The Soul Forge Armor Titan from Vaseraga going to be able to get the soul read on Riazo. Once again, starting offense, not letting them even get the chance. These matches have been really good, and so has the Lariat underneath the Gated Demons, catching them on the other side to draw first blood.
Yeah, BSG just doing a really good job of moving around Riazo's moves and then moving into that command grab.
On a character that's not really known for their movement, mind you.
Exactly. And there it is again, getting under that fireball, getting that armored punish, and we're getting dangerously close to getting to lethal, but Riazo getting a nice super here, taking away that people. Actually, no cinematic. That's really unfortunate. If it catches him trying to jump out or mash. Decent grip of damage here.
All right, going into the safe jump setup. Going to be able to protect against the BC. That's why we got to use another one here. Run up, no mask that time. Going to be able to have the armor. Big combo after breaking the mask. Do we break through into a final? No, it's just BSG slamming the door, making top 8 winner side for CEO, popping up for the crowd. The homies got at their back, and BSG will be having his way today.
2 or 3 Materas,
yep.
And now Tubbie, yet another bad matchup, but to a grappler player, it doesn't matter. There's no character on the other side. There's just a person, and that person is scared.
Yeah, we're all equal in the eyes of the Vortex. KOF player here. I know that rings very true. I see the arms of Clark still grow up. I don't care if I'm on a top tier or a low tier. The fear of God is in my heart. But here we go. Let us see who will be talking to God after going out early in the loser side of top 24. Between Vermilion and Gabagool. Vermilion, a very seasoned competitor, armored up with the 2B, but Gabagool, very seasoned with the Ladiva, already pushing 2B to the corner, but Vermilion answering back with the auto combo that she has the privilege of having.
Yeah, a huge BC right there on the ult area. It is an unblockable, so you do have to respond with a BC once you're forced to block it. But taking him to that corner. Gabagool kind of running out of BP right here, so let's see what Vermilion does to open him up. Just gets him low.
Yeah, interestingly, I was talking to God. When you talk about the phrase arms too short to box with God, that is not 2B. Usually you see them sit at this 5H spacing to maintain their offense, sitting close up that time to catch them low. So already 2 shades of offense from the 2B. Vermilion leveraging both of those to open up Gabagool early and get that first round.
Yeah, and I like that quick adaptation for Vermilion, right? He sees that neutral jump once. He knows the JH is going to beat his 5H. The next time Gabagool jumps, he goes for the hammer, for the destroy, and for the good anti-air hitbox.
Oh, but the crossbody chop, Eddie Guerrero, but not going to be able to get the full brunt of the frog splash. Now just going to go back into some troubled waters. That's why we see BC out. But get right above water. Our head is able to breathe after baiting out the DP from 2B. And a big hug, why don't ya?
It's going to be a huge grip of damage. Might actually be able to kill. It is a little bit more scaled from the 5U start. No super! Do we have a jump? We do!
Oh! I didn't even see the startup of that jump, but Vermilion was ready for the command grab super. Gonna be able to parlay that into good corner carry as well. Clean hit on the hammer and a clean position and a clean little shuffle, but the high health of Ladiva gets them another chance, and they take that chance to match out and take round 2 of game 1.
Vermilion going for that delay block. Gabagool doesn't care. He just mashes and actually frame traps Vermilion taking that round. There's these headbutts looking for the fireball here. Going for the 2Us, just trying to stuff something out from Vermilion, but Vermilion playing really safe right now.
Oh, couldn't quite get the follow-up on the shocks from the pods. Again, looking for these 2Us. I wonder if they're trying to snipe something out. Tried to roll through, but the pod caught them. Then 2M going to catch the approach from Ladiva. And with 50% meter, that's the Ladiva in the corner.
Yeah, first big hit here. Now Vermilion has corner advantage. Watch out for the jump. Keeps him back in the corner. No escape throw.
No escape indeed, another one, but we get our time out with the CHBC. Ladiva does have access to 100 meters, so you got to be scared of any command grab super, but was ready for the lariat to get into that position to use it. Gonna crouch underneath it because you can low profile it on the approach. If it's not the ultimate version, Vermilion very much aware of that, gonna be able to use that to take game 1.
Huge plays right there. You know, Vermilion blocking a couple of those layers, maybe trying to get warmed up against the character. Finally able to do that, but getting hit by a headbutt. Ooh, just a little bit too far with the command grab. Watch out with these 2Us. Just whiffing at air a little bit too much. There's the hammer once again, catching the neutral jumps. Vermilion getting a good chunk of damage. 2H frame trap.
Oh, that's pretty good, the 2H. Usually you see that on block and you're thinking it's time for me to get started, but no, base them with the frame trap into the laser. Funky hit, but a really good correction there to be able to get the full corner carry, but the beast, or the DP rather, from 2B gonna be able to take round 1. Unsuccessful the first time, able to use it as a game-winning tool the second time around.
Yeah, catching the frame trap right there. Vermilion showing a lot of jumping after blocking the first hit, right? So right there, going for DP and set, expecting Gabagool to go for the frame trap. And a wire confirmed this. I love this adaptation from Vermilion, right? Earlier, he hit that knockup with the 2-2H and then wasn't able to confirm. This time he was ready with the wire, but Gabagool ready with his corner combo. Let's see what setup we have here.
All right, here comes the Vortex again. We are all ready, but no, not even going to get it. Vermilion cocking his head to the side, wondering how did I just get hit by the overhead on the safe jump. Gabagool says, I'm going to take that to the bank, show you a little bit of love, and say thank you very much, but not quite enough to kill.
What's the mix up here? Just mashes straight and catches the BC with the parry and a huge 5H starter.
Gonna go in the SSBA, all diamonds off of Ladiva's desk. No meter either, so no DP. Not a lot of defensive options. Pods in their face. Gabagool gonna have to hold down back with 2B rushing in. What do you do here?
And the 2-2H is set on you. You don't want to do anything other than 2U and take the round. Gabagool, 1 round on the board, showing signs of life. Vermilion really wants to end this ASAP, right? You don't want to give a grappler any rounds to play with.
Absolutely not. And you see already undeterred, not discouraged in any way, has been denied that to you so many times. Still going to it at the end. Didn't quite trust that hit though, but still going to be able to find a chance to put them in the corner. Vermilion though going to back throw.
Wants to keep, both players just want to keep the other one in the corner, but Tubbie just has such great lockdown with his 2-2H, keeping it safe, doesn't want to get 2U'd once again.
You're having that 5H to sit out of that range, and the 2M to stuff the ultimate lariat. Good trapping skills from Vermilion, looking like they came from 1017 Brick Squad with all of the trapping they're doing to that little diva. Now keeping them held down with this 5H, but the 2U to get him out of dodge.
Yeah, double goal going for so many of them were whiffing earlier, but he's found the tempo right there, and finally the 2Us are starting to work. Neutral jump, he's so scared. You don't want to do anything with the 2-2H out.
No, and that's crazy too, because you don't even want to do anything to go away from the command grab, but we're not going to even get the chance as Gabagul is going to take the full brunt of this combo. Vermilion taking it 2-0 with the 2B advancing, but sending a lot of our favorite.
But it's actually very real, because a grappler is not just about command grabs, right? A grappler is about forcing you to sit still so that they can throw you, and their throws have higher reward, which when the trap's out, obviously Cagliostro has the highest throw reward in the game, and she has excellent ways to stuff out fuzzy mashing, teching, trying to jump, all of those things, right?
Yep. And being able to do that is because of a recent change to her that came when Elsa, the newest DLC character that came out, those patches gave Cagliostro some buffs. At first, it was initially looked at as a rework, and a lot of CAG players were sort of, kind of dooming about it because there were some changes that impacted the more popular game plan that a lot of CAGs adopted. But Elsa, the studious player that they are, sat there, took a deep examination, just said, I want to get some time with this, but I think there's something to this. And lo and behold, they were ahead of the curve. Them and Zandori looked at those changes and said, this is a better character. And now a lot of people agree that she's definitely in the upper stratosphere of any tier list that you will see across regions. I mean, Kojicoco definitely familiar with them. Playing against Zandori at Arc World Tour Finals, EVO Japan, does have experience against this character, but not going to be able to see that come to fruition. It's going to be the Versusia that's going to come up to play, another character that we have seen in the competitive environment from Elsa.
Yeah, I think Elsa for the longest time was the Versusia to watch, right? And I think once Versusia, obviously when Versusia came out, she was very, very strong. A lot of players were rocking her. But after those nerfs, I feel like almost every Versusia player disappeared, except for Elsa. Obviously, Elsa started leaning more onto the CAG, but they were still playing a lot of this Versusia, and I would probably say that they're the most dedicated Versusia player now.
Yeah, between Elsa and KTP and Sukinoe, who we'll also see later in top 24, there are still the last bastions of the tall lady that is currently aura farming on the other side of the screen. But very, very humble wielder of the whip, and their ghostly ghoul companions are going to be going up against the long arms of the, I guess, the law. I don't really know the lore like that. Anyway, Ferry versus Versusia underway. 2 shades of blue, but who will be burning brightest here as we get underway? Anicha trading with the 2M to get us started, Chewable.
Yeah, so I think this matchup, when I think about this matchup, my favorite 2 players playing this matchup was Gamera when he was on Versusia, playing against Beepaw, where he showed, at the time, everyone believed that Ferry won this matchup very, very hard. And Gamera showed that, like, with a different game plan, this matchup is pretty good for Versusia, because she has that safe on block lariat that is totally unreactable full screen, which does a lot for her, and she has high damage and good zoning, counter zoning tools, right, to beat those normals. And there's the lariat too, but Kojicoco recognizing the range, outspacing it, and taking this first round.
Yeah, as good as the lariat is in terms of its startup and not being reactable, you still do have to worry about Ferry throwing out those long hitboxes with those normals. So Kojicoco snuffing that out here as we return to 2 neutral, rolling through the Anicha, being able to set up GG after getting the Gens Pest cancel. Looking really good here with the space control.
Yeah, we are stocked up now, so we should be looking for a lariat very soon. But Kojicoco, look at the spacing right there. There again, with punishes the lariat, just standing right outside of the range, goading Elsa into going for it. The instant overhead, a little bit of damage. Probably gonna use the super to restock on that bravery point and take one of Elsa's as well.
Yep, going to be able to set up GG once again, going 2 for 2 on the setups into this round and looking to go 2 for 2 in the round count to get game 1. Kojicoco's Ferry putting Elsa on the back foot early and just did not let up the entire length of that game.
I love how, like, despite not thinking of Kojicoco as like a Ferry player, his combo was like 100 damage optimized. He started with the low, and usually you do like 5H auto combo, and he went for low and then did immediate jump JH just to squeeze out an extra like 100, 200 damage. He's going for the optimals no matter what character he's playing.
Yeah, you do love to see it. We'll see what Conway's representative here will be going for, and going to be able to lock and load with the... I think I've missed the flash. It's the Cagliostro coming up. Yeah, I thought I saw that, but I had to double take. So let's see what Conway's own Cagliostro veteran Elsa will be doing up against the Ferry that has been running rampant. I can kind of see that would be a little bit more of a deal, go a little bit higher up in the character strength and have a little bit more options in that neutral that don't necessarily depend entirely on the Lariat and the Death Pillar.
Right. The only thing is, Elsa was not on Versusia for fun, right? This matchup is kind of difficult for Cagliostro. We've seen it a lot at EVO Japan with Zandori versus Kasa Usagi. Ferry just has really good tools for taking out the traps, punishing Cagliostro for doing things full screen, and just like stuffing her out, calling out her jumps. Like right here, she just trapped, and the DP gonna give you a full combo into some sort of setup here.
And that's the crazy thing too, as we get the knockdown with the GG, getting disrespected by the spare body, catching her going for the rising overhead. The crazy thing, when she had that trap set up, Ferry can just sit at a range where you don't necessarily have to interact with a lot of the set play that Kag is trying to command at a range where she can fully maximize it. So Kojicoco maximizing their advantage in that aspect to get to a set advantage and set point here. Elsa got to fight back.
It's looking really scary. It's just really hard to get anything started as Cagliostro in this matchup, especially when you have a player as seasoned as Kojicoco, ready for every run-in, disrespecting these plus frames, going for the throw, and a huge hit confirmed here. We're sent all the way to the corner. The GG is coming very, very soon.
Oh, good dodge right there, but still jailing them with that far light, as well as sniping them out of the skies. Beppo sicking them and sending them back to the dirt where they bury the bone, and going to be able to bait out the BC with GG in tow to reinforce the struggle that they have put you in. It's just going to be optimal enough with the hind legs of Beppo. It is going to be so. Kicking Elsa out of the bracket, unfortunately for Soul Calibur and Incendiate. This Ferry has had like 30 first place finishes in net play brackets from Luis Ferdinand. So we will see if we can take that success offline here against Incendiate. Let's get underway at Meg's favorite spot, good old Auguste Isles.
Yeah, let's see how the round start occurs. Incendiate getting a little bit of screen space here. Going for that instant 6-6H. I like it. Jumping over the whip, getting corner pressure, and now party time.
Oh yeah, you know Lowain loves him a good party. The bro fam coming out but being disrespected. Luis Ferdinand just using these far L's to command space when she's on the defensive end and now being able to parlay that into a switch of the screen position. But the bros, Sammy and Tommy, catching them tripping and saying that we are going to go to the other side. The party's over here, Ferry.
Yeah, and a huge parfait here, but Luis Ferdinand just going for the back throw. Is he able to beat out the HPA? Is he ready? We're seeing a good number of spot dodges. Not biting. Oh, just barely catching it with the spot dodge. Getting a nice punish here, but he is low on life. A couple parfaits and we're chilling.
Ooh, going to be able to swat the bros away with that far heavy as well. Still maintaining a respectful spacing and going to be able to use their own 100 meter as a set play with the Orb of Confusion. Going to be able to get the tail end of the active frames to get it landing or to land a jumping overhead. Still being able to swat those bros out. These whip normals are exactly what I was thinking why we were going to go to Cat. Just not going to be able to use those bros to get the approach going.
Yeah, it's really hard. Lowain has good tools against Ferry, but if he isn't able to get set up because Ferry is just harassing him with those normals, it can be really hard to get anything started like that. Getting just only a couple rockets out, but not much more. And now he's out of cooldowns. Ferry has full advantage on the neutral.
All right, swapping again. These far heavies have been a thorn in Incendiate side so far, but rotating them in was coming up with that far light. So Luis Ferdinand, even though they have a strong layer one, still giving a couple of different looks.
Ooh, nice block on the 6-6H. Already ready with that guard button. And now Incendiate only has 2-2 cooldown available. Oh, barely doesn't fall into the GG, but Luis Ferdinand has such a huge advantage here.
And it just feels like Incendia is just devoid of options to get their offense started. They use the ult bro wheels. They're using each bros trying to get in, but just keeps getting swatted by the extended range on these whip normals. Trying to go for the 6XL, a little bit of a frustration move to start their own offense, but the orb was waiting for them. Beppo shutting the door on a round and any sort of offense for Incendia as Luis goes up 1-0.
Yeah, that's always how it is, right? When you're fighting a zoner, you have that like frustration meter that builds up. Eventually, like you're in like mental burnout, right? And you're just like, there's a giant hitbox coming down at me. I'm just a 6XL. I can't take it anymore, right? And that's exactly what happened right there. Luis Ferdinand just playing this annoying playstyle so well, right? Mashing with the far lights, with the far M's, with the far H's, stuffing every bro summon, stuffing every run in, and just finally in this moment, Incendia going for the Hail Mary and it not paying off. Iago just having too much composure.
Yeah, speaking of composure, though, you're talking about that frustration level. It's going to be up to Incendia to find composure within themselves. Just cool, calm, and collected is usually how you want to approach it, because that death by 1,000 cuts is accentuated when you have the blood boiling over and out of those wounds. So we'll see if Incendia can take a breath at this character select screen, pause, recollect themselves, or if the smiling Luis Ferdinand is going to remain annoying on purpose, as I like to refer to zoning as, remain annoying on purpose to be able to propel another Ferry further into loser side of top 24.
I want to take note of the players. Look at the players. Have you seen that meme where it's like one dude is like, he's like sweating, he's like slamming the keyboard, he's like screaming, and then the
other guy with the eyes going outward, yeah.
He's like singing payphone. That's what it feels like, right? Look at it. He's like sweating. He's so serious. He's so stressed out. And Iago, he's just smiling, having a good time.
And that's like the funny thing, like Luane is the whimsy character.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like a little bit of juxtaposition there. So I like a little bit of that allusion to the meme here, but no funny business here. Already establishing the same order of business with these whip normals that Incendia cannot find a way in on so far.
Yeah, his smile and optimism, they're gone. And another huge whip here with a nice hit confirmed into the 2-1-4U. That did so much damage already.
And then GG was ready and waiting after the anti-air attempt. So we've seen a couple of times now Incendia going for these super jumps to find a way in over these whip normals. But Luis Ferdinand doing the best way they can to cover all the options that they can. Sit at a distance where the jump won't recover in time so they can get the Beppo anti-air.
Yeah, and Luis Ferdinand just using these BCs, using these far H's, Incendia just not able to find the footing to get in. It's gotta be so stressful here.
Unbelievably so, but you gotta figure it out, because it's not going to be your opponent's problem to figure it out. It's going to be yours. I do like changing up the angle that we're coming in on so we can make the Beppo whip, put it on cooldown at the very least, but it's not going to matter if the heavy whip is going to be able to catch you anyway. Good close medium anti-air.
Yeah, no counter hit right there. Good awareness to just go for the medium. Ooh, no anti-air from Incendia. Backing up full screen again. You don't want to be here against Ferry. Now you're stuck behind GG, getting pushed all the way back to the corner.
And Incendia is not a Luane player that's very dependent on using the HPA or the Iggy to really right the evens or make the set a little bit even.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's having to spend all his meter in neutral unsuccessfully is really putting a wrench in that game plan. And again, getting hit by that close medium anti-air. This time going to be able to get the counter conversion, but not the full orb combo, unfortunately.
Yeah, the angle was a little bit weird. Unfortunately, gets a drop, but he has such a huge advantage here. And something I want to point out, these dashes from Incendia, you can tell that the frustration is mounting, right? Because his dashes are usually a lot shorter, so you can get the blocking time, but he's running into a lot of normals.
Yeah, but we run into some of the spells of Iggy. Luis Ferdinand has shown their prowess up against the human pyramid attack. Going to be very patient here up against the Iggy attack. And just has to sit across the screen to throw their friend a forced chip and a decision from Incendia. Unfortunately, head and hands for the Luane player, but the Ferry champion will advance further into bracket. Luis Ferdinand going to be there.
Right.
So you have to be ready for this matchup.
Of course.
So you got to imagine that Monarch has really thought this through.
And it is kind of interesting, right? Despite the strength of the character, Ryuzo's kind of only the only real like rep of the character at the highest level, right? There are other players of the character, of course, but he's the only one that's like really like bringing it out and making it consistently very far every tournament. He's traveling to a lot of these tournaments, right? So it might actually be hard to get matchup practice for this character generally, which might lead to why Monarch lost to Marias. Obviously, a great player too. You know, like you can't prepare for that guy. He's unpredictable predictable as hell. But so is Rialzo. I think Rialzo, even if you knew the 6 matchup, it doesn't matter because you have to know the Rialzo matchup.
Yeah, sometimes he'll just do heavy Rekka on block with 17 seconds left and a minus health lead and just go into Shadow Step, and we'll just win the game because of it. But either way, we'll see if we can win the game with a little bit of trickery here. Already going with a couple of dive kicks and landing with a throw. We're already going deep into the bag and tricks here to get things started. Monarch just saying enough to that, get away, disrespectful Oju-sama slap to get back to mid-screen.
Yeah, huge parry here, pushing him back to the corner. I really like Rialzo's usage of the 6 JU. This was a recent change in, I believe, the most recent patch or the one right before it, where they made the JU a lot faster, and instead of getting plus frames, it's just this kind of like really good hop kick, and it's more often minus now, but because it's Matera, her frame data is not that good, it ends up being kind of plus.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll see if we get some more interactions utilizing that, but crazy enough, we have seen when Rialzo has gotten started with their offense, especially on their own approach, Monarch has been very keen to mash, but we're keen to hit that sweep button and cancel into the heavy Rekka to close out the round 1. So good dominant showing for Rialzo here.
And this is a nice little mid-tournament adaptation, right? Earlier this tournament against BSG, he hit that sweep and canceled into that Gate of Demons.
Yes.
Right? And it didn't work, and now he's aware that he needs to dial in the Rekka and is able to do that for that round earlier. But right here, whiffing the parry, gonna take a huge punish.
Yep, good recollection. We'll see if we can recall when they've opted for that Thunder Flash parry, being able to bait it out that time around, but catching out and recollecting the defensive habit of Monarch in that first round, going to be able to use that close heavy frame trap to get a huge chunk of damage off of Matera's health, but it's still a demanding task with the commanding health lead for Matera that got even bigger, dodging the empty hand.
Yeah, good awareness right there. Ooh, just a stare down. Goes for the ultimate Rekka, but gets caught by that ultimate arrow. With that ultimate butterfly in front of you and such low health, you really have to try and do something, but unfortunately, Monarch was ready for it.
All right, immediate 6-6L here from Monarch, not even giving Seox the chance to even get started. And I understand that because you mentioned a lot of the ways that Rialzo and Seox have the ability to maneuver around the zoning stuff that Matera sets up without butterflies.
Right.
So without the butterfly open, just go ahead and get your offense started because you do have strong tools in that phase as well.
Yeah, definitely. And there's another spot dodge. These empty hands, not a single one really landing. Monarch just a little bit too ready for it, just like he's ready for this confirm into Raging Strike. 6 is low HP. Not a lot of resources, just goes for the setup and gets parried instead.
Knocking at the door, but this time a lot more stout defensively. The building builds of bricks instead of straws, but it's still getting blown down by the big, bad 6-clawed wolf with the 6-claw execution Rekka of the ultimate variety, ushering Monarch into the corner with 0 BP, trying to bait out a dodge, but again, Monarch just deciding to hold down back a little bit more.
We're at chip now, and the spot dodge, unfortunately, getting caught by the Great Fall. Just too active, too delayed. Kind of a checkmate situation right there.
Yeah, I want to point out the fact that I think Monarch has picked up on it, especially with how they adjusted both how they start their offense and then sit back. The only times we've really seen Rialzo opt for an immediate option to get through the neutral phase, especially with empty hand, is when Butterfly is on screen.
Right.
If Butterfly is not on screen, Rialzo's a lot more patient, and they will just let Matera get started. As soon as the Butterflies come out, becomes a little bit more urgent in that aspect. But right now, the urgency already shown in the initial seconds of the game, going to be able to land that round start dive kick.
Yeah, there's another JU right there. I like it. The BC cracking in. We're plus. Go for the throw. Another meaty JU. I really love Rialzo using this move. You know, as a 6 player myself, I'm a fan when someone is able to push the toolkit just like Rialzo is doing right now.
Wow, the safe jump landing there. I'm not quite sure what was going on there from Rialzo trying to find their way out, but Monarch going to say thank you very much. Despite me going on the back foot early, I'm sitting pretty 10 toes down. And now Rialzo down 3 rounds and potentially maybe out with Monarch at set point.
Yeah, there's the roll right there. Actually, if Rialzo let it rock, Monarch would not have been able to roll through. It would have been a huge punish. I'm really scared for Rialzo here. He's choosing to challenge when the butterfly is out a lot, and it's really scary, right? Because the risk reward is really against your favor in that situation, right? If you get hit by a straight hit, the butterfly is going to convert, but Rialzo hitting a straight Rekka.
Looking for the gated demons to keep Matera holding down back, but we are going to use our Brave counter to guard cancel our way out of pressure. Dodge on the empty hand, not quite enough to get the throw punish. So Rial's going to be able to parlay that into some corner offense and wants to get them down to 1 BP. Big, because the next hit will have an extra 30% of damage done to the combo.
Yeah, and a huge anti-fuzzy mash bait right there with the empty land H Gate of Demons for the round. Rial's showing signs of life. I also really liked his awareness on that combo, catching the backdash, recognizing the combo limit because they started airborne, and getting that super, snowballing into that round.
All right, again, just showing that aggression round start. When the butterflies aren't out, Matera still comes to play by herself. Now the butterfly out for Oki to reinforce this strong corner offense. Going to be able to just go into the dash overhead, get away from me, counter hit BC, but answering the shadow step with the 2M on the other side.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive Monarch we're seeing. We're not really used to this. Going for the BC. Oh, no pop on the butterflies, but this is a huge opening for Riazo. He's close to chip, and a huge hit catches the backdash.
It's so important that you keep up the offense here. You are at chip point, so if Monarch finds any way out, if they even get a DP and force you to block it, this could be it. And a very popular stop, the super to get through the butterfly. No cinematic, but you're on the other side. Riazo has signs of life.
He was teabagging right there. Throw tag. But there's a DP. Even if it was blocked, he was dead. What was that teabag? He was trying to get Monarch to twitch on something, and Monarch just jumps out of it, uses the rest of his resources, and takes out Rialzo. Could be yours.
Yeah.
Like, the set could be yours if you get in once. It's just, you got to get in, and then if you don't get in, you got to deal with red grenade. You got to deal with green grenade. You know, 5,000 years of Arun science has led us to the invention of the red grenade.
Oh my God, yes, the rat race that we all run is the culmination of science tech technology, but who will win between the high technology of the Arunes or just a thick skull of love from the lady herself? Right now it's Insurgent, not really showing 1-4 romance. Just a bad time in the corner with the rat race being already represented going into a throw.
Yeah, nice fuzzy ball right. Oh, unfortunate whiff throw. Now the game is starting for Gabagool, getting BC'd right in and going through that red rat race with the super, taking away another bravery point. Now it's looking all Gabagool.
Wow, what a whiff punish though, ducking out of the way of that far medium, trying to use their headbutt to build meter as well as use the projectile invulnerability to win neutral, but going to be able to parlay that BC into a heavy drill with a screwdriver. No 50% meter though, so you can't kill. Insurgent has no BP, but another chance to live.
Yeah, all of this chip that's coming out, this pressure from the zoning, and right there, Gabagool trying to headbutt the laser, but Insurgent delaying it very slightly to catch the recovery. Insurgent taking first round.
Underrated aspect of Eustace's neutral in his toolkit, especially just with that one tool alone in Flamec, being able to have two different versions to give two different speeds to challenge Gabagool's ability to react with the headbutt.
Yeah, Insurgent trying to make up a lot of space, good spacing against Hilaria, but gets 2'd for his trouble. Right here, back to neutral. Oh, catching the roll with the yellow grenade. It's just so scary. It's so messed up that he says dodge this, but you're actually not supposed to dodge.
It's called a reverse psychology, and I think they teach that into society. Elsa probably wrote a book on this somewhere. Anyway, I'll write a book on in the corner while don't you, because you're going to be here for a minute. Oh, actually, no, you're not. You're just going to be able to. Oh, I say that as you run right into the yellow grenade, has a hitbox that beat the super.
So the thing is, the super is only invuln for a very short amount of time, but because the yellow grenade comes out so slowly, the invuln frames of the super were already gone, and then the hitbox of the grenade comes out, and it counter hits the super. Good awareness from Insurgent, recognizing that Gabagool was trying to super through fireballs earlier, so going for that delayed fireball hitbox with the yellow grenade, with the Jarate, as some might call it.
Oh my God. Oh man, yeah, that's interesting. I did not even think about how that interaction would play out, but Insurgent certainly did, was already ready for it if that was their intention. Either way, you're welcome to go up 1-0 in the top 8 qualifier, but you're welcome the chance to get Insurgent and Eustace into the corner. Gabagool now going to be able to start their strike throw offense.
Yeah, 2 more touches. There's one. Let's see what the combo is right here into some sort of setup. You might want to spend into super just so you can get the BP back. No, thank you. Wants to kill in the next touch. Yeah. Insurgent can take one command. Actually, one H command grab is enough to kill, so you can take a command grab. He's just got to be right.
Yeah, even though you don't build that BP back up, you do still have that threat in the corner of that super and then of the heavy command grab into the ultimate super, or ultimate command grab, to be able to close out the round. So a little bit more for Insurgent to think about, but already back to the neutral. That's why we come here at BC, get the hard knockdown and make them down back. No, sir.
Yeah, and there's a super this time. It will invul through this Flamex and take the round for Gabagool. Says I'm not going down without a fight. Utilizing the full extent of Ladiva's toolkit to get through these fireballs, get through this wall. And Insurgent just needs to keep Gabagool out with the grenades, with the fireballs.
Oh, and I do love them baiting out that projectile invul option with the headbutt, just going up right behind it and catching the recovery.
Yeah, right there, going for a wake-up meaty command grab, but Insurgent going for an instant throw, beating out the timing thanks to throw protection.
100 meter on tap for Gabagool, so you got to be very wary of how you cancel and how you go for these projectiles, because they have already shown prowess in being able to let it rip to get through and get the cinematic super on to even out things. So here we go.
Now you have red grenade. Oh, huge punish with the red grenade on you. 0 BP with the super, full resources. This should be enough.
Gonna get the link as well for some added damage, and I think any bit of damage would have done there with the SBA. Insurgent now on set point. Can Canada's last bastion in Gabagool make it to loser side top 8? There's an Arune Sergeant sitting at the other side of the screen trying to deny you entry and keeping you at the pass in neutral right now.
Yeah, these awkward fireball timings for Gabagool. Oh, but a huge opening! 6-6 age, but now he's pushed back to mid-screen, gone successfully past the red grenade, has one chance. BC
don't even want to deal with the plus frames. Insurgent just wants them back in a comfortable range. Crossbody chop going to land right into the heavy Flamex, but that is now on cooldown, so Gabagool does have chances to find their way back in. Which is why Insurgent goes for the sweep. 2-8's going to find them in neutral, and now it's Gabagool with their back foot in the corner. 100 meter though.
Yeah, Insurgent doing a good job of mixing up his neutral options, right? Sometimes going for the fireballs, going for the close combat, going there for a close combat break into ult skill, just trying to catch Gabagool twitching, forcing him back in the corner. Oh, huge opening! This is going to be a huge amount of damage. It's enough to take it. Insurgent moving on into loser side top 8, unfortunately sending Gabagool home, but what an incredible run.
Out